Get over it.
I think the fact that Charlie Weiss is going back to New England, where he had such great success as the offensive coordinator there through 3 Super Bowl wins, I just think that Notre Dame is going to play exceptionally well. I know this game's important to Boston College, but you can rest assured of one thing: it's important to the Notre Dame players also.
Talk about Charlie Weiss going back to New England. He's not even in the NFL anymore.
Coach, I don't think you're reaching now.
No, I'm just telling you, there's some places you just think better.
Do you realize that had I said something like that, you know what you would have done? You would have looked at me and you would have said, is the field going to be 100 yards long? Is it going to be 53 yards wide? And I would say yes, and you said, well, all right.
There's just something about the motivational factor. I never got a chance to go play William and Mary after I left there, but I would have loved to have done that.
Maybe Charlie would think very well if Notre Dame were playing William and Mary, I'm sure. Notre Dame and Boston College coming up at the top of the hour. BC feeling sometimes that little inferiority complex against the Irish, trying to keep a winning streak going against them in a bit. In the Pac-10, speaking of a little bit of a rainy day, Blatty's got to get the slicker just right. And how about Stanford? Bo McNally getting the snap, taking it up, and Harbaugh dialed up a good one. Nice fake, tied the game at 17, 27-22. And going in toward the end zone, Stanford fumbled the football, and does he have possession?
Yes.
Yeah.
That looks like that should be a touchdown. And there you go, Stanford 28-27. A fortunate one for the Cardinal. LeGarrette Blount going in for the Ducks. And Oregon, Stanford, look, this is a much improved football team. Oregon wins it 35-28. Stanford at 5-5. Look, the third quarter, new Heisel's team.
You know, Mike Riley, this has been his Achilles heel. He can't beat UCLA. He can beat everybody else in the conference, but he can't beat UCLA.
Boy, this is big, because if UCLA could beat Oregon State, it would put Southern Cal back in the leadership.
In control of its own destiny. What Coach means by that, Oregon State, in theory, they went out and would get the tiebreaker by having beat USC head-to-head. Arizona over Washington State as the Cougars' woes continue. A 31-point edge. That's a lot of points for the Cougars.
28 points, that is.
And Arizona State against winless and hapless Washington. 9-3 is the score. They're just starting the second quarter in Seattle. And college football scoreboard presented by Pizza Hut rolls on. We'll recap the big stories of the day. Again, the non-automatic qualifiers moving on. We've got some movement in the Big Ten and a change in the leadership of the leader of the guard there. Something. I'll figure it out when we come back.
Hey, if we get their pizza Monday before 5, it's $5.
Dude, Pizza Hut's new Pizza Mia, so it's just $5 every day.
Pizza Hut's new Pizza Mia. Just $5 each every day for 3 or more one-topping Pizza Mia pizzas. $5 never tasted so good. Pizza Hut.
Let's talk merger. Beep. Ned's phone. Ned doesn't have AT&T, which means no bars here in Finland. So when Ned's boss called to say not to mention the merger, Ned, don't hint at the merger, Ned, don't even think about the word merger, Ned, it isn't finalized and everyone will freak out. We didn't get that call.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places. Get an exclusive quick messaging phone for $79.99 after mail-in rebate.
Own a timeshare? Turn it into cash.
No more mortgage payments.
Thank you, Timeshares Only.
At Timeshares Only, you'll find properties from the biggest names in the industry. If you want to buy, sell, or rent, call now. Call Timeshares Only and get your free information kit with our insider secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares, plus receive a free $100 gift card.
Over $5 billion sold in the past 6 months proves now can be the best time to sell.
Call 800-348-9794. That's 800-348-9794.
Plenty of people would say P stands for Phoenix, but not Jimmy Johnson. With just 2 races left in his pursuit of racing's ultimate prize, he knows there's another P that is even more profound. For Jimmy, pure and simple, P stands for pressure. Now with Carl Edwards pushing his way into the picture, Jimmy will need more than patience to prevail and earn his place in history. The chase continues at Phoenix, tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ABC.
After their shocking upset win, Texas Tech looks to take the next step in their run at a championship. Saturday Night Football on ABC. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, or Cal USC. Tonight at 8 Eastern. College football lives here.
College Football Scoreboard is presented by Pizza Hut. Tackle your hunger with the Pizzone from America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut. Order online.
#1 Alabama in the Bayou to take on LSU while the Crimson Tide's chasing championships. There was always the subplot of Nick Saban's return. Opening drive, John Parker Wilson makes a great play. Earl Alexander, Mark, probably trying to do too much.
Well, what a terrific play. He's trying to finish it off right there, but he sticks it out. Chad Jones pops it loose, but a big mistake. Hold on to the ball. Protect the football in big games.
See it every week. Protect the football in all games. Not fourth down, hold on to it. But Jarrett Lee, another tough day for the young quarterback for LSU. Picked off by Rashad Johnson. And that sets up John Parker Wilson on a quarterback sneak, and he gave a little call me to the LSU fans who had gotten his cell phone number, as they are wont to do. They're masters at that. Lee back to Demetrius Byrd, game tied at 7. After a fumble on the ensuing kickoff, LSU ran it great with Charles Scott.
They really did. He rushed very, very well, breaks loose here, goes all the way in for the touchdown, puts LSU ahead. One of the few times Alabama's been behind all year.
Only trailed for a minute and 15 seconds all year coming in, but Lee hits Johnson again. Johnson, a pick 6, his second interception. Lee has now thrown 14 interceptions on the season, 6 of them returned for touchdowns. That particular interception was his 12th. He'd throw 2 more. Glenn Coffey putting Alabama up 21-14, but Scott would answer, Mayday.
Oh, big, powerful back. Charles Scott just lowers the boom and goes right on through for the score for LSU.
Alabama drives down, waning seconds, last play of regulation for the win, and LSU comes up large. The big tiger paw rising up for the hat, and the man Hatter thought he had him. Tied at 21, we go to overtime. But Lee throwing, guess who's there again? Rashad Johnson.
You don't win because you make the great throw. You win because you eliminate the bad one.
And after a great throw from Wilson to Julio Jones, set up the Tide. In overtime, the senior quarterback sneaks in for the win. 27-21. Alabama escapes in overtime and remains undefeated. Undefeated Penn State going in, take on Iowa, a team they'd struggled with in the last few years. Well, they won last year. Ricky Stanzi, Daryl Johnson-Koulianos, and Penn State's lead was trimmed to 2. Following an Iowa fumble, Derek Williams, direct snap score.
Hey, just a good effort here, good blocking. Seems to put the game right in their own control. 23-14.
Mayday, Sean Green, the nation's 3rd leading rusher.
He does a great job of fouling his blockers, and another awesome game, another 100-yard-plus game for Green.
And now with 6 seconds to go, 31 yards out, Daniel Murray, hero. The sophomore from Iowa City does it, 24-23, and another unbeaten team falls. One barely escapes, one barely goes down, and there's one other one left right now among BCS conference teams, Texas Tech, with a stern challenge coming up top of the hour over on ABC. As for Penn State, a devastating loss for their national championship hopes in all likelihood, but they still have a great shot at going to the Rose Bowl.
They definitely do, and they've got to survive this, and they've got to put this behind them. I think that's the key for Penn State and their coaching staff and Joe Paterno. Tell the players, yes, we have a loss. It was on the road. It was a 1-point loss, but there's still a lot out there we can accomplish. Let's get through these next 2 games, get to the Rose Bowl, and see what happens. But the bottom line is they've got to find a way to beat Indiana and put this game behind them next week.
I think they will. They have an awful lot of character and integrity, and they play very, very hard. But, you know, that's easy for you to say, hey, put it behind you, go to bed, you go to sleep. You don't go to sleep as a player, at least as a coach, you know. This will haunt you the rest of your coaching career. You're so close, and you look at it, you're up 23-14, you're in field goal range, and you get a penalty. All of a sudden, you got them stopped, you get a pass interference. These are the things that drive you crazy. You look and say, what should have happened, what could have happened?
You know, and it's another lesson and another example of why it's really futile to start complaining about the BCS and who jumps whom in the polls until all of the games have played, because now Penn State doesn't have to worry about that argument about whether Texas Tech should have jumped them or not, because they fall behind. ACC is still a complete jumble. Florida State in many ways looks like the best team, but they lost to Georgia Tech last week, so they're not out of the woods. Wake Forest is back alive, and Virginia turned in a stinker against the Demon Deacons, and North Carolina also looks strong against Georgia Tech. And then we see Boston College tonight stepping out of conference play against Notre Dame. A very tough game, certainly for the Eagles and also for the Irish, who will have their will tested after the quadruple overtime loss last week. The 3 of us will see at halftime.
Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, where we start the final third of college football's regular season with two teams poised to become bowl eligible and possibly re-enter the nation's top 25. It's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against the Eagles of Boston College, who have won the last 5 between these traditional rivals. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick, Todd Blackledge. It's great to have you with us. Last year for Notre Dame was nothing short of an embarrassment. They couldn't get out of their own way on offense. In fact, they finished dead last in the country. Boy, Todd, what a difference a year makes.
Absolutely. They are so much better this year than we saw them last year. And I think 3 things you can point to that show their improvement offensively. Their offensive line, a year older, much better, doing a better job of protecting the quarterback, most notably. And that quarterback, Jimmy Clausen, as a sophomore in his second year as a starter, much more comfortable running the show, making plays. And outside, he's got a couple wide receivers that are big-time guys that can really stretch a defense. True freshman Michael Floyd, 6'3", very strong, very fast. And then Golden Tate, who is a converted running back, is a sophomore, really developing as a wide receiver. And these 2 wideouts have really made things easier for Jimmy Clausen, able to stretch the defense. This offense much better than they were a year ago.
Boston College, like Notre Dame, is 5-3. They've been winning with defense. The offense at times has been pretty good, but there have been other times when they haven't been very good at all.
Very unpredictable. They go as their quarterback goes. Chris Crane is a 5th-year senior, but a first-year starter, so there's been a lot of ups and downs. And quarterback coach and coordinator Steve Logan said, the question I ask before every game, how fast can we drive the car? Well, we're going to take that a step further and say, what kind of car will Boston College offense be tonight? Will it be a Pinto up on blocks going nowhere? A Yugo that will get you where you want to go, but you're kind of embarrassed to be driving it? A Honda Accord that's efficient and smooth and takes care of business? Or could it be a flashy Lamborghini? Right before the game, Logan told me, I don't think we can get to be a Lamborghini. I'll be very happy if we're a Honda Accord tonight.
All right, Todd. Thanks very much. They're the Eagles of Boston College in front of a sellout crowd of 44,500 here at Alumni Stadium. They'll come out before that crowd. A lot of them will be rooting for Notre Dame. Kickoff from Boston is next.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you?
Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while.
And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right?
Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal?
We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him.
That's a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Taste Papa John's new Zesty Italiano Pizza. Spicy salami, pepperoni, spicy Italian sausage, and 4 cheeses. Or the Tuscan 6-cheese pizza, just $12.99 each. Or buy both for $10.99 each. Call or click papajohns.com.
Unleash the power of your HD TV. Perfect picture. Perfect sound. Blu-ray high definition. The best way to watch movies at home ever.
Hey, I'm Mike Golick, Notre Dame class of 1985, and I know BC has won the last 5 matchups between these two teams, but tonight's going to be a little different. I think BC is getting a little cocky with this series, thinking, is it really a rivalry? I thought the other team has to win some for it to be a rivalry. That's all right. Feel good about yourselves in the 5 in a row you won against Notre Dame, because it ends tonight. And all we remember is, what have you done for me lately? And it'll be a Notre Dame victory.
All right, Mike, looking good, buddy. Strong words from a big guy. The series history, Notre Dame leads it overall 9-8. Interestingly, they've only been playing since 1975, but BC has won the last 5. Coming up on our show tonight, we'll take a look back at the kick that shocked college football 15 years ago. Also, legendary coach Frank Leahy will be the subject of our Did You Know? One of the great coaches of all time. And even in a cosmopolitan city like Boston, Todd gets messy with taste of the town. And you can catch that at the end of the first quarter. Before we kick it off, here's our partner, Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, after the longest game in school history last week, a 4-overtime heartbreaking loss for Notre Dame, a big question mark for them is, will they have energy and legs coming out here tonight? Starting before the game in pregame warm-ups, their starting inside linebacker, Brian Smith, may have given us the answer. He was barking at everybody. He was over in the face of the Boston College players, yelling things like, I hope you don't play as soft as you look. Things change tonight. It is over. Things are going to end now. Guys, he was barking it up, even with his own teammates running into the locker room. And I noticed as Notre Dame lined up to run out onto the field, guess who was the first player in line barking again? Brian Smith. If the team can feed off the rest of his energy, that 4-overtime game may be a distant memory.
Well, we'll have to see if his bite's as good as his bark, because bite is what's going to win the football game here, not bark.
I like that.
I'll tell you one thing about Boston College. They are not flashy, but they are well coached, and they are tough and physical. And if you beat them, you've got to earn it, and you've got to be more physical than they are.
Quigley to kick. Golden Tate 23 and Barry Gallup Jr. 21 are deep. Tate with outstanding speed across the 20. Makes a nice move, takes it up to the 27-yard line. This year, Notre Dame quarterback Jimmy Clausen has had a chance to show why he was so highly recruited in the first place. Because the people around him are much better. His improvement has been magnified even beyond what he is doing better.
I thought it was really interesting what Charlie Weiss told us about. He said last year he was just running plays. He was just going play to play. Now he's running the team. Now he's running the offense. Tremendous development in Jimmy Clausen from year 1 to year 2.
We've got 4 wide receivers, 3 stacked at the top of your screen, and they'll go with a little bubble screen out there and get it to Golden Tate, who's averaging 18.3 yards per reception. He and Floyd, very dangerous wide receivers for this club. You can check out both starting lineups at the top of your screen over the scoreboard.
One of the other things that Charlie did with this offense is they went to the no huddle. It's not a hurry up. But ever since the Michigan State game, they went to this no-huddle approach. It just kind of cleans the picture up for Jimmy Clausen, helps him to read the defense and make calls at the line of scrimmage much easier.
Boston College comes with the blitz. Floyd up to the 45-yard line, and Clausen is down. And Robert Francois hit him late. Oh, no, check it. It's a chop block
Second down
against Notre Dame.
I was amazed that Clausen got this ball out because the pressure hit him right as he was making the throw, and he still was able to get the completion. And he got up awful slow at the end of this. They brought pressure. Both inside linebackers came. Hard to see the chop block right there, but watch the throw by Clausen under duress. The center is going to get knocked right back into him, and he's still able to make the throw.
Frank Spaziani dialed up the blitz, and that'll push him all the way back to the 16-yard line. Duval Camara, number 18, is the starting wide receiver for Notre Dame tonight because David Grimes is still recovering from a foot injury. Camara is in the slot. Allen, the running back, goes in motion. Empty backfield again. Clausen under pressure. Throws short for a completion again to Floyd. Floyd came into this game leading the club with 41 grabs. Ron Brace, the defensive tackle, dropped back and made the stop.
Yeah, and this was a new look from Frank Spaziani's defense. They dropped both of their defensive tackles out. They really confused Jimmy Clausen on that particular throw. Jimmy Clausen expecting a 4-man rush. It was really only a 2-man rush. 9 guys dropped into coverage. Nowhere to go with the football.
3rd and 18 for Notre Dame. Last year, they would have had no chance at all to make a 3rd and 18. Movement up front. And 77, Mike Turkovich, the starting left tackle, got an early start. That'll make it 3rd and 23. There's Charlie Weis now in his 4th year, formerly the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. He has given up the play calling duties this year. And Mike Haywood, more of an offensive coordinator than he has ever been. And Charlie has become more of the head coach on both sides of the ball. Third and a mile. Draw play. Allen. He's got a lot of quickness, but it didn't help him this time. And once again, it's Francois, the weak side linebacker, who is starting for Brian Toll, who's been lost for the season with a broken leg.
BC is very solid on defense.
Jeff Jagosinski's 2nd year as the head coach at Boston College. Had a great season a year ago, then lost all of his skill players and has had to retool and still has a chance of the ACC title. He's done a heck of a job. Moss to punt to Gunnell. Gunnell back at his 40-yard line. Poor kick, end over end. Moss comes up, saves a lot of yardage by making the catch down to 44. Only a 30-yard punt, and Gunnell with a 2-yard return. That's Chris Crane. He has been up and down in his only season as the starter for the Eagles. He still has more interceptions than touchdown passes, but the raw skills are there.
Oh, he's got talent. I mean, he can really throw the football. And, you know, that touchdown to interception ratio, that's to be expected for a first-year starter. I mean, that's no different than a guy, you know, you think when he's a 5th-year senior, maybe he should have better numbers, but he's just like a freshman playing. I mean, you can practice things, you can draw it up on the board, but there's no substitute for game starts and game experience. That's what he's getting right now.
He's a 5th-year senior with no experience whatsoever. Josh Hayden, the running back. Hayden is a freshman. The guy behind him, Montel Harris, is a freshman. And I was really stunned when Jeff Jagosinski told us the other day, at the end of last year, they had no running backs in this program. Not a single guy on scholarship was a running back because they did not expect Jeff Smith to come back. He had had a series of concussions. So when they were out recruiting guys and saying, you know, you got a chance to start, they weren't blowing smoke at anybody.
You will start if you come here.
Blitz. Crane hangs in there and throws a strike to Gunnell. 15 yards.
Gunnell did a great job of getting inside the defender, and that made it an easy throw for Crane. Watch, Gunnell's going to get inside his defender right there. That gives him a good target for the quarterback. The quarterback can see his numbers, a nice little stutter step off the line of scrimmage to get free of McNeil.
Notre Dame has some athletes in the secondary. They've been playing a lot of man-to-man. Now Crane will go to the shotgun. Notre Dame showing blitz again, and they come with it, trying to get to the inexperienced quarterback, but so far he has burned them when they come with pressure. And once again, McNeil has to make the tackle on Rich Gunnell, who has caught back-to-back balls.
Well, this is good if you're Steve Logan, the quarterback coach. Again, how fast can he drive the car? What can he expect out of his quarterback? He never knows from game to game, sometimes even from series to series. Right now, his quarterback is off to a very smooth start. Looks very comfortable throwing the football.
Purvis, the tight end, sets up on the right wing. Running play will get about 3. They have smallest running backs. Hayden is 5'8", 182. Montel Harris, who we'll see tonight, is 5'10", 192. So they don't have the pounder in there.
Hayden is a younger brother of Joe Hayden, who is a sophomore defensive back at the University of Florida. Interestingly enough, also started as a true freshman at Florida and enrolled early in January, just like Josh Hayden did here at Boston College. So both Hayden brothers off to fast starts in their careers.
Another first down, Eagles. Gunnell goes in motion. Crane looks that way. Had Gunnell wide open in the flat and didn't see it. Crane with the keeper down to the 16. I mean, Gunnell was open.
Well, Boston College offensively, who are their go-to guys? The guy who's going to make plays, the guy we just talked about, Josh Hayden, their starting tailback, the freshman out of Washington, Maryland.
The other freshman tailback, Montel Harris, is out of Jacksonville, Florida. He only got a scholarship the last week of recruiting and has really been a pleasant surprise. And Brandon Robinson, their leading receiver on the outside, is senior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, 27 catches on the year.
I said Gunnell. I'm sorry, it's Gunnell. He's in the slot on the right again. Crane throws. Gunnell got a hand on it, but it was nearly picked off. Outstanding coverage by Sergio Brown, who had inside position.
Yeah, Sergio Brown was beat for a moment, but reacted quickly. As soon as he got his head and eyes around, he was able to get in position and make a play on the football. Crane thought he had his man open, made a pretty good throw to the sideline, but Brown able to get a hand on it and knock it away. Now here's where Chris Crane has to be smart with the football. It's 3rd and long. They're in field goal range. Jeff Jagodzinski feels at 25-yard line or in, he's comfortable with the field goal. Be smart with the ball. Don't waste a scoring opportunity.
Crane to the end zone, incomplete. Well, I don't know if he's comfortable with a field goal, but they're going to try one.
Yeah. Well, he's comfortable with trying it from this distance. Anything from the 25-yard line out, I think he looks at it as 4-down territory.
Alpanavicius will come on. He's 7 out of 12. His longest attempt this year is 39 yards. His longest connection is 36, and it's just been a struggle. This one will be from 34.
Hit the left upright, didn't it?
I don't think comfortable is the right word anymore. The kicking game can kill you, and right now it really hurt Boston College early.
I was an intelligence analyst in the U.S. Army.
Warrant officer with the 18th Airborne Corps. 82nd Airborne.
Green Beret.
91 Echo, dental assistant.
Chemical officer, and I served in Iraq.
The Army taught me how to be a team player.
To be decisive.
I learned how to be a leader.
To be strong mentally
and emotionally.
As it turns out, camouflage is a great way to get noticed. 150 careers in the strength America's top employers are looking for.
I am Army Strong.
I am Army Strong.
See what it's like at GoArmy.com.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters. It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it, because Citi never sleeps.
Plastics, medicines, and innovations that make life modern come from one place. American Chemistry. AmericanChemistry.com. Essential.
ESPN's college football primetime is available in sparkling clear HD, and that is Dave Earnhardt plying his craft on the sideline. Notre Dame takes over at its 20 after the missed field goal try. Armando Allen, the single setback, and he has played very well this year so far. Allen will get the carry off the right side. Kept his balance, shakes it down, fumble the ball. Goodell got it back. Excuse me, Kamara.
Well, you see on that play what the strength of this Boston College defense is. It's inside. The two tackles, Brace and Raji, those guys bounce everything outside. Watch the penetration on the inside that forces the play out. Brace forces Allen outside, and then a hit on the football knocks it loose. You see it's ripped out, and Notre Dame very thankful and very lucky that they fell on the football. Wes Davis, the free safety, is the guy that ripped the football out.
Don't know how long Brace can go. He's been playing with a bad back. Some pressure coming on Clausen. He goes underneath to Allen, and Allen is wrapped up immediately by Wes Davis, and there is a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 56 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Big East referee John McDade.
Here's the end of the play. Yeah, there it is. I think that's Ramella, number 86. I think he called 56, but he meant 86.
Wasn't much, but it was enough.
Yeah, ball was clearly gone. No need for that.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
You just cost your team 15 yards. It would have been 3rd and long. Instead, it's a first down. Clausen sings that one. It's tipped. And back in coverage, middle linebacker Mike McLaughlin. Good drop by the middle linebacker. Yeah, very deep.
Linebackers reading the quarterback's eyes. Jimmy Clausen not looking anybody off on this one. McLaughlin drops right underneath the tight end Kyle Rudolph and almost gets the interception. Rudolph well covered. A lot of red jerseys around the intended target on that one.
Clausen with a hitch and throws it away. Frank Spaziani said the other day, you know, when they come in here, they'll know what our tendencies are. This is a very smart pro-style offense. He says, I may have to break a few tendencies of my own.
And already he has, and I think it's very smart because not only is it a pro-style approach on the other side, but John Tenuta, who is one of the defensive assistants now at Notre Dame, was Spaziani's graduate assistant at Virginia in the early 80s. They're good friends. They know each other's style. And John Tenuta, who was at Georgia Tech last year, was able to really help prep the Notre Dame offensive coaches about Spaziani's tendencies.
I like to watch both of those guys coach. Pressure coming on Clausen. They block it pretty well. Clausen unloads too far for Golden Tate. He was covered very, very well. Donnie Fletcher, the freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio, a great skill player, had excellent coverage. And here's Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, actually, there was a big hockey game last night, Notre Dame at BC. So Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator for Boston College, he took a guess. It was John Tenuta, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. He said, you know, once he was the student, now he's the master. John Tenuta said, hey, he's one of my best friends in coaching. They know each other very well.
All right, Holly, most will punt. Gunnell is deep. Fair catch at the 17-yard line. 41-yard kick. His first was only 30. This one is better and no return. 0-0, first quarter.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
I love steak mix.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen. Is this it?
You didn't order?
Valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? There it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Ground control. We have a problem. Switching to lithium power.
I feel better already.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Hi, LL Cool J.
That was me, LL Cool J, before I started using Swagger from Old Spice.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. At Hampton, we love having you here. And in part by Kia. Get up to $5,000 cash back on Kia Sedona, Sorrento, or Amante. Visit kia.com for information.
Heisman winner and 2007 College Football Hall of Fame inductee Doug Flutie honored yesterday with the unveiling of a statue of his likeness created by Harry Weber. The statue depicts Flutie throwing that Hail Mary pass in the Miracle of Miami game in 1983. Way to go, Doug.
What a great player. I remember when he was a freshman, the first game he ever came in was at Penn State, and I watched this little guy with number 22 on and said, who's this guy, quarterback number 22? The next year as a sophomore, he threw for 520 yards against our defense, and we won the national championship that year here in Boston. It was unbelievable.
He was an unbelievable competitor. There's his nephew, Billy. I'll tell you what, you come to Boston College with that last name, the pressure is enormous.
I'll tell you what, though, I like this kid. He's a hard-working guy. He does a little bit of everything. Wide receiver, punts. I saw him jump in on a scout team kickoff. I mean, anything he can do. He's got a great attitude and approach to the game.
Crane in the shotgun. They'll blow this play dead. He's played pretty well so far, hasn't he?
So far. Number 66 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
See, the thing with Chris Crane is he's highly skilled. He's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's got a very good arm. And there have been moments when he's been brilliant. The North Carolina State game early in the year, 34-51, 428 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then the next 2 games, he had 6 interceptions, and 3 of them were returned for touchdowns, and another one was returned all the way to the 1-yard line. Just plays that really take your team out of contention.
Montel Harris gets his first carry. He's up to the 24-yard line, stopped by the outside linebacker Harrison Smith. Of course, they had Matt Ryan playing quarterback a year ago. Crane has sat and waited his turn, came out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. He has already graduated with a degree in psychology. Very bright kid, is interested in attending medical school. But you can tell when you talk to him that he's just holding out the hope that somebody's going to give him an opportunity to go somewhere and learn.
Have a chance to continue playing football.
Gunnell makes this catch very near the sticks. You get the feeling if the NFL Europe was still in action, it might be the perfect place for a kid like Crane.
Yeah, he's a project. I mean, he's got skills. And Steve Logan said, I really believe that if I had one more year with him, he'd be a very good player. Unfortunately, this is all they've got. And you've got to hope that now in Game 9 for the rest of the year, because they've got 3 big ACC games after this, you got to hope that for the last 4 games, and hopefully a 5th, he plays like a second-year guy, that he's done being a first-year starter, and he becomes a second-year starter starting tonight.
There's Billy Flutie in the slot. It is the first down for the Eagles. Running play will pick up about 6 with Montel Harris, who's averaged nearly 6 yards a carry this year. Let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Mike, Taco Bell studio update, and back to Lubbock we go. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Pokes are on the board. Kendall Hunter powering his way through the Red Raider defense. 7-0 the game on ABC. there will be plenty of scoring in that affair. On ESPN2, Tebow just scored 14-0 Florida over Vanderbilt. SC has an early field goal against Cal.
All right, Reese, thanks very much. 2nd and 5 here. First down and more. Montel Harris out of Jacksonville, Florida, picks up 13 yards. David Bruton, the best player on defense for Notre Dame, had to make the stop. And after beating number 1, it hasn't been easy. Boston College did it in '93 when they knocked off Notre Dame, lost to West Virginia. Michigan State beat Michigan, lost to Illinois. Oklahoma over Nebraska, then they did win the next week, but Notre Dame lost. Wisconsin lost after being in this situation.
Very tough to get right back up after a huge win over a number 1 team.
Crane on the run, throws incomplete. They want a flag. They're not going to get it.
Well, it was a good play by McNeil, but I think he did get away with one. He got the ball with his right hand, but I thought his left arm was draped all over the intended receiver, Gunnell. It was kind of a dangerous pass by Crane throwing for the hit.
Sure was.
He got the ball with his right hand, but I thought there was contact with the left arm before the deflection.
Justin Jarvis, the intended receiver. Boston College moving the ball reasonably well so far. Pressure coming. Crane throws. Nobody out there on the screen. Montel Harris, number 41, had stayed in the block and never got out to be an eligible receiver. Sometimes you get caught up in the wash.
Well, yeah, that one just didn't look right. It almost looked like the pressure surprise. You have to anticipate that you're going to have to drift a little bit and find a throwing lane. And that time it almost looked like he got flat-footed and got surprised by the pressure.
Now 3rd and 10. Notre Dame with that 3-man front can come at you from a lot of different directions. That BC line is blocked very well. There's an excellent throw that time. A perfect strike for a first down to the 36-yard line. The catch made by Brandon Robinson, who is their leading receiver, only with 27 catches on the year.
Yeah, here's Robinson. He's just going to run a deep in. It's man coverage. 5-man rush for Notre Dame. It's man coverage with a free safety helping in the middle. And Robinson beat his man, and a nice throw by Chris Crane for the first down.
Looks like Boston College has been very well prepared for what Notre Dame is going to bring against them on pass pressure.
Little zone read that time. I mean, you've got to do that. If you want to run the zone out of the shotgun, then every now and then as the quarterback, you've got to be willing to pull that football out and keep it. Even if you don't gain a lot of yards, you've got to keep the defense honest by doing that.
He's rushed for 145 yards. He is not immobile.
No, and he also has the most rushing touchdowns of anybody on the team. He has 7.
Darius Fleming is the injured player for Notre Dame. They tend to him. And we will go away at the 3:33 mark. Back after this.
No.
You can't have them all.
Yes, I can.
It's not
What
fair.
is going on?
Mark's hogging all the new minutes.
We have a ton of rollover minutes. Use them.
Yeah, but his are new.
You know, not everyone gets to keep their unused minutes.
Can't believe he gets all the new minutes.
Is this new or old?
I can't tell.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear you. What?
Only AT&T's Family Talk with Rollover saves your family's unused minutes. It's the best value around. And now add a line for just $9.99. Get an exclusive quick messaging phone for $79.99 after mail-in rebate.
This is Kirk Herbstreit. You know you're a true Outback fan when you think cutting up the middle means slicing into our Outback Special Sirloin. Big, bold flavors seared in. The kicker, just $9.99. Crave on.
With Orbit's Price Assurance, if another customer books the same flight for less, we refund you the difference with this. Your name goes here, the amount here, and I sign here. I just need a pen.
Price Assurance.
Anybody?
Only from Orbit.
This is a kitchen table where homework gets done after dinner. But add Time Warner Cable's Roadrunner High-Speed Online, and this becomes the greatest library on Earth. A multimedia explosion of mankind's accumulated knowledge, downloading facts and videos at speeds your old DSL connection just can't keep up with.
I'm studying here?
Sorry.
Order Roadrunner Lite for only $14.95 per month.
Call Time Warner Cable today. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Hi, New York. This is Todd Caputo, the Used Car King. We have one of the best deals here that I've ever seen on an import. This is a 2008 Suzuki Forenza with a balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for just $10,900 or only $199 a month with absolutely nothing down. There's 20 of these to choose from. You can see them at usedcarking.com. That's Sun Chevrolet, Route 5 in Chittenango, or the Sun Auto Warehouse, Route 11 in Cicero. The Used Car King.
Get your weekly dose of NFL news and analysis tomorrow, first at 11 a.m. Chris Berman hosts Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by IBM. Then at 7 Eastern, Chris and John Saunders deliver the day's highlights and scores on SportsCenter. That's Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by IBM at 11. SportsCenter presented by Bud Light at 7 p.m. tomorrow on ESPN. That's Darius Fleming, who was able to walk off under his own power. Boston College driving against Notre Dame. They have gone inside the Irish 35, and this will be the 10th play of this drive. Four-man rush. Crane takes off.
Good decision.
Got the first down and more. 20, 15. Gets out of bounds at the 12-yard line. A gain of 22.
A smart decision by the senior quarterback. I was just about to say the offense was pretty much you go, but this was a Honda Accord play. A good decision, efficient, the right thing to do, get what you can get, and then get out of bounds. And now, once again, he has Boston College in scoring territory. They missed a field goal the last time they were in scoring territory. But Chris Crane looking very under control right now. 5 of 9 for the football game.
He is the game's leading rusher. 3 carries, 25 yards. Harris, maybe a yard and no more. Harrison Smith with another tackle, and here's Holly.
Guys, Notre Dame does not give injury information, but what I've observed is that Fleming has been examined just up underneath his tummy. They had their hands up under his pads, under his jersey, just kind of feeling around in the abdominal area. He's up walking around. They're talking to him. Not sure if he'll be able to return, but he looks pretty good over here right now, just trying to walk things off.
Thanks, Holly. Way to stay on top of it. Second down, they'll call it 8 as the ball is spotted at the 10. Crane throws for the end zone and into a big crowd and incomplete. Gunnell was the closest player to it. BC in the red zone in this conference, pretty good, 87.5%. And 75% in touchdown percentage. Crane with good time. To the back of the end zone, incomplete. That looked like a really smart throw. His guy's going to get it or nobody does.
Oh, and the guy he was throwing to is the tallest receiver on his team. Moma is 6'6", and so he throws that one to the back corner of the end zone and gives his tallest receiver a chance to make a play. Either his guy gets it or it goes out of bounds and you try another field goal.
Apanavicius will come on as everybody holds their breath. This will be from 27. He's now 7 out of 13. Hit the upright with his last try from 34.
Missed again. Oh, got that one.
Well, that one somehow sliced back
I thought
through.
that was going to hit the right upright.
That baby had knuckleball written all over it. Coming up, legendary coach Frank Leahy, the subject when we play Did You Know? But there's a flag down. Hold the phone.
This is a Big East officiating crew, not an ACC crew. Big East.
Running into the kicker. Defense. Penalties decline. Field goal is good.
It was 4th and 8, so it would not have given them the first down. There's Frank Leahy, one of the great coaches of all time, the subject of our Did You Know when we come back.
I chose Boston College, and my senior thesis was published as a book.
I was named to USA Today's All-Academic First Team.
I launched a program to fund job training for the homeless.
I curated an exhibition at Boston's Museum of Fine Arts.
I got a great education, and I was selected in the first round of the NFL draft.
I chose Boston College, and Boston College changed my world.
Trillions of dollars are moving around the world every year illegally, fighting for a healthy global economy.
What we want to do is recycle containers to build homes, fighting to improve living standards.
Hopefully my research will relieve suffering, fighting disease.
I heard the plane strike the Pentagon. Fighting for justice. We are
the Fighting Irish.
Boston College with a 3-0 lead. Aponavicius has missed one, made another.
You know, they have another kicker on the roster, Billy Bennett, a sophomore, who they recruited a scholarship kicker, but he is suspended indefinitely. And so their punter, Ryan Quigley, is kind of the backup kicker now. That's the guy kicking off right now.
Golden Tate has a seam up the middle, cuts it outside. Nice return, but a flag down as Tate is stopped at the 35-yard line. Now we'll check the penalty.
Almost assuredly against Notre Dame, an illegal block. Going to put him in bad field position again.
During the return, holding, number 25, return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jonas Gray called for the hold. Ryan Quigley, the kicker, made the stop.
Mike Haywood, the offensive coordinator. Charlie Weiss giving up the bulk of the play calling duties to Mike Haywood this year. Mike Haywood said the biggest thing he had to get used to was being in the press box. He has never been in the press box during his coaching career. He said everything is a lot slower up there. Everything moves slower except for the 40-second clock. That keeps running fast.
Notre Dame only has 17 yards on 2 drives so far. Not surprising because Boston College is number 10 in the country in total defense. They have played very, very well on that side of the ball. There's another flag down. And that's Mike Haywood. And who would have thought that Charlie Weiss, whose calling card was as a play caller, would give up the play calling?
Well, he still has input. Obviously, he has a lot of input during the week. But in not being the sole play caller, it gives him a better chance to manage the whole football team and lead the whole program. During the game, what his input is he gives a lot of formation suggestions, and their play sheet is based on the hash. So if Charlie says go in this formation, the left or right hash will determine what play Mike Haywood will call.
Robert Hughes, the new running back, he's number 33, standing right on top of the goal line. Hughes trying to break it outside. Will pick up only a couple. And that swarming Eagle defense was all over him, led by Marcellus Bowman and Mark Herzlich.
The interesting
Herzlich is really a good player.
He really is. I mean, he is the best, probably the best all-around player in their back seven. Up front, B.J. Raji is their best down lineman, but Herzlich played middle linebacker as a freshman. He was the starting weak side linebacker last year, and he starts on the strong side this year. They like him out in space. That's him right out here.
Incomplete, intended for Golden Tate.
Another 3rd and long right now for Notre Dame. This plays right into the hands of Frank Spaziani. He's shown some different looks. He's brought pressure. He's dropped 8 or 9. 3rd and long. We'll see what he has dialed up for Jimmy Clausen on this play.
Missed his last 4. Clausen steps into the end zone under pressure, got out of there. still can't find anybody and a run down at the 18-yard line. Great hustle by Kevin Akins, who may be the most athletic player they have on the field.
Great hustle by Akins and great discipline by the guys in coverage, because when Clausen was flushed out of the pocket, he was not looking to run. He was looking to throw, but none of his receivers uncovered because the Boston College secondary stayed disciplined and didn't give up on the pass routes.
Most to punt to Gunnell. High and very, very short. And most of this game being played in Notre Dame territory. 28-yard punt. Let's play Did You Know? Frank Leahy at Boston College in 1939 and 1940. Won the 1940 national championship and then went to Notre Dame, where he became a legend. And these teams are playing for the Frank Leahy Memorial Bowl. The break in his career there was when he went into the Navy during World War II. As most people involved in sports, well, you can't see the bowl, can you?
It's in the box.
They're not playing for that box.
The bowl's in the box.
Crane incomplete. That was intended as the first quarter comes to an end. That was intended for MoMA. Coming up, even in a cosmopolitan city like Boston, Todd gets messy. Does he ever? With Taste of the Town. In 90 seconds, find out what's on the menu.
The chase for the Sprint Cup continues at Phoenix tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Be transformed by colors so vibrant they twist the very fabric of your being, and sounds so pure you don't just hear them, you become them. By a world so beyond anything you've ever experienced, nothing will ever be the same. The new Kuro, now blacker than ever.
There once was a place where people lived in fear.
For me, it was shopping carts.
I was scared of trees.
Dust. Horrifying.
One day, they didn't have to worry any longer.
Now, if a dust hits, who cares?
Now I'm free to worry about more important things, like ninjas.
For auto, home, and business, Travelers.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
Ready to start the second quarter, 3-0 BC. Now it's time for Todd's Taste of the Town, brought to you by Chase.
Here in Boston, I found a quaint, family-owned Italian restaurant that looks and smells like you're walking into your grandmother's kitchen. It's called Camella's, and it was started in 1988 by Gene and Tom Camella. Now, Gene played football in BC in the late 60s, and he had 3 football-playing sons, and his 2 youngest, Matt and JP, now run the family business. The coolest thing on the menu to me is what's known as the messes. It was an idea Gene had as a way to limit wasted food. It starts with a secret family recipe base of various pastas, marinara sauce, and cheese, and then you decide what to add on top according to one of the 34 variations on the menu. This is the Mother K's. It adds sausage, veal, and meatball. Lord, bless this mess. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm not sure I'd be comfortable ordering Grandpa's mess. It's just me.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what's in it, I guess. You know, that one sounded pretty good to me.
That's why I'd be uncomfortable.
Sausage, yeah.
Oh, the portions just get bigger, don't they?
Well, yeah, they do.
It looked great, though.
It was very good. And a neat place, you know, a great connection here the three Camella brothers. Greg played at Stanford and later in the NFL with the Giants. And JP, the youngest one, played here at Boston College. They were all fullbacks, and Matt played at Northeastern here in the Boston area as well. So really a neat family, a great place to eat.
Back in there is Hayden. And he keeps driving. Hayden down to about the 41. Be sure to check out all of this season's Taste of the Towns at ESPN.com. Just search Taste of the Town. And, you know, we should start weighing these as well. You know, I mean, calorie count, let's not get carried away. But that looked like it was about 2.5 pounds of Italian food. And you didn't even mention the bread that was with it.
Yeah, well, I didn't eat much of the bread. The bread was just there for decoration. I just ate the... You know, every now and then I'll use some bread to just kind of sop the rest up.
Yeah,
well, down the bottom, but...
Bread is a gravy boat for you. Pressure, Crane takes off. Drilled.
It's okay. The thing that Chris Crane is doing, and the same thing he did last week in a losing effort to Clemson, is he's taking care of the football. We mentioned the interceptions, 12 on the year, 3 of them returned for touchdowns that really took his team out of a chance to win against Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Of course, they won Virginia Tech, but the North Carolina game really took him out of that football game. Last week, he did not throw an interception, no turnovers. He took care of the football, and he's making good decisions with the football tonight. He knows the defense is playing well. Don't put him in a bad spot.
Steve Logan says, well, you can't have it both ways. Billy Flutie is back to kick. It's one of those soccer style or rugby style kicks, and he puts it out of bounds inside the 20. You can see Flutie had the option of running, and we'll find out where the mark is. Let's check in with Reese.
All right, Mike, told you there would be more scoring down in Lubbock after Oklahoma State went up 7-0. Graham Harrell threw 1 touchdown pass to Edward Britton, a second one to the Elf, Eric Morris, and the Red Raiders still in the first quarter on ABC. It's 14-7. Gators can clinch the SEC East and appear to be well on their way to doing so. USC still holding on to that field goal lead over Cal after 1.
Notre Dame going with 2 backs. They've been 1 back in the shotgun up until now, trying to get something going on offense.
James Aldridge on the toss. Somehow got past Big Ron Bryce, and that's not easy. It takes up a lot of room.
Notre Dame, Charlie Weiss saying, you know what, we've got to get some momentum, so let's go 2 backs and let's put our big tailback in, James Aldridge. And Notre Dame has 3 backs, and they all see time. Armando Allen is the starter. He's more the shifty guy. Robert Hughes and James Aldridge are the bigger, more powerful backs, and Aldridge over the last couple weeks has really run the ball well.
He and Hughes split a lot of time last year as running backs. Knocked down by his own man as he was pressured right back in the middle of the line by Raji. BJ took Eric Olson, the right guard, and just threw him back into the ball carrier.
See, this guy is an NFL prospect. He just takes his man, uses that leverage, and just keeps driving. He doesn't care if he gets the tackle. In this case, he did. All he wants to do is blow the play up and let somebody else come and finish it up. That time, he blew it up and finished it up as well.
That was an awesome display of power. And a prospect indeed. Pressure coming on the blitz. Out to the 25. It's still going to be a couple of yards short of the first down. Asaph Schwab with his first reception of the season. They'll still have to punt it away, and here's Holland.
Well, guys, speaking of that big defensive tackle, B.J. Raji, he actually had to sit out last year because of a fluke academic issue. He thought he needed 2 classes, and he really needed 3. But he said he made up the best of his time. He said, instead of sitting around pouting, I decided to be a contributing member of this team. He did it by playing on the defensive scout team. But, guys, he was so good, they kept telling him to quit playing. He was blowing up the offense. They had to take him off the scout team.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine he'd have been on the scout team at all. Gunnell up the middle. And again, into Notre Dame territory, Boston College has to take advantage of this field position. You can't do this the entire game and just come away with 1 field goal.
That's absolutely right, Mike. And Most has really hurt Notre Dame tonight with his kicking. The punts have been low. They've been short. And so, I mean, if you're going to kick them short, you better kick them high and let your coverage get down there. These kicks have been low and short. And you're right, Boston College with outstanding field position, but you can't just keep a 3-0 lead with this kind of edge in field position and hope to win a football game.
Yeah, there's only two things you want out of a punt, and he's not giving them either.
Yeah.
So they'll start this time from the 43-yard line. Harris is the running back. He'll get the carry, steps over one man's got the first down to the 32-yard line. Montel Harris out of Jacksonville, Florida, finally stopped by Bruton.
Well, Notre Dame came with some pressure from the outside, and it was an inside run. It looked like they might get to the backfield, but Harris does a nice job of staying inside. If he tried to bounce that out, he would have run right into the blitzing Sergio Brown. He stayed inside, found a little crease in there, and turned in a nice gain for a first down.
Harris again. Gets as much out of it as he could, only about 2 yards to the 30. One of the inside linebackers, Brian Smith, one of the top tacklers on this team, made the stop.
See, this is another play where Chris Crane has to put this in his memory bank, and he's got to watch this guy. As they run the zone here, he's got to see if this guy is cheating and just chasing the play, eventually the quarterback's got to keep the ball. See, nobody's paying attention to Chris Crane right now. Everybody's focusing on the back. He's just got to kind of file that away and realize at some point I may need to pull that football out and keep it.
Harris again.
See, there are two guys, the defensive end and Harrison Smith, the outside linebacker, and both of them are just concentrating on the back, and now we've got a little extra pushing and shoving at the end of the play.
Matt Tennant for Boston College was involved in it, and there's Brian Smith, who was woofing early. He's involved in it.
After the play was over, personal foul. Number 65 offense. 15-yard penalty. The down count. Third down.
Well, Matt Tennant is the leader in this offensive line. Really a good center. A junior out of Cincinnati Moeller High School. And just at the end of the play, there's the push. He thought Sergio Brown was doing something a little extra at the end of the play. And we've seen 2 penalties against Boston College that were not very smart. I mean, just late pushes that you're always going to get a flag thrown on you. I mean, it's one thing to be tough and to be physical and to demonstrate that, but do it between the whistles, you know, do it in a legal play, because now you set your team back. You had great field position, and now you're 3rd and a mile, and you've taken yourself completely out of field goal range.
3rd and 22, a position you do not want to put your inexperienced quarterback in. Pressure coming. Crane throws underneath. They'll try to get what they can to Justin Jarvis. And let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, it is a steady, heavy rain out here on the field right now. The good news for Boston College, this is exactly the conditions they had to practice in Thursday preparing for this game. Notre Dame had sunny, nice weather all week, unseasonably warm in Indiana. So still remains to be seen who can be affected by this. But one good news, the turf is not slick. This absorbs water very well. The footing is still remaining very true out here.
All right, Holly, Billy Flutie is in again as the kicker. This time just a straight ahead punt.
See, this is how critical that penalty was on Boston College, because this was 4-down territory in Jeff Jagodzinski's mind. You know, you get what you can get on 3rd down, but when it's 3rd down and 20, it's not 4-down territory anymore. You've got a punt, and they've wasted another great field opportunity.
Going to the game this weekend, Jim?
Well, Jerry, for more on that, let's throw it over to the Hampton Hotel where my wife Tracy is checked in. Trace, what's the mood over there?
In a word, Jim, electric. Comfy beds, complimentary hot breakfast, and friendly service.
Trace, what's that noise I hear?
Wow, I wish you listened this well at home, Jim.
She's kidding.
I'm not. It's college football, honey.
Well, there you have it, folks. And Trace, I'll see you in a few hours. Back to you, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right.
Who is Dickey's American Worker of the Year for 2008? Introducing Hale Hughes, an oilfield roughneck from Woodville, Texas. Find out how to honor your favorite worker at Dickeys.com.
So what you gonna get? No, check it out. Don't answer that. I know what we're gonna get. Friday's right portion, right price menu. Hey, I'm talking big flavor here. Just the right amount of food. And it starts at just $5.99. So you'll have enough left over, you can buy those ladies some dessert.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
SNY, your TV home of the 2008 New York Jets, with exclusive coverage of Mancini's press conference.
Our Jets open mic.
Detailed analysis of upcoming games.
With Jets extra point.
Questions answered by the men in charge.
First and goal with Mike Tannenbaum.
Plus, immediately after every Jets game,
Jets post-game live.
SNY, your year-round TV home of the New York Jets.
Upgrade to digital cable to home of free HD to catch the Jets in HD on Sportsnet New York.
Billy, you know, I know we have a lot of art lovers out there. You truly are a work of huge.
A work of huge?
A work of huge.
What
a masterpiece.
Heck is a work of huge?
You give folks the selection they want. You give them the financing they need. The kind of vehicle that is the right vehicle for the times.
Got a lot of cash to lend right now.
It's perfect.
I'll tell you something right now. Let's do something stupid for Thanksgiving.
What?
Let's sell new Azera Limiteds for $24,900.
That is
work of huge.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. Boston College has won 5 consecutive games against Notre Dame. What two schools have the longest win streaks against the Fighting Irish all time? Just think of who they normally play. That's the hint.
Notre Dame, no offense so far tonight, but their field position has been atrocious. 20, 18, 14, 20, and their own 27. That's it.
One first down, that was by penalty. There's an incomplete pass.
When you have a great defense, field position is huge. This is Matt Tennant coming off the field, and his position coach, Jack Bicknell Jr., really giving it to him because the situation was critical. They had a 3rd and 7 on the +29. Okay, so that's 4-down territory. And instead, with the penalty, now it was 3rd and 22, and it moved the ball all the way back to the 44. Really took away a great opportunity for Boston College.
Jimmy Clausen has hit only 1 of his last 6, make it 2 of his last 7 as Michael Floyd is the target, and they've got a first down there. Floyd, a talented young man out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The #1 freshman receiver of all time at Notre Dame. Already.
Well, there are some talented freshman receivers out there, and we've seen a couple of them. Julio Jones at Alabama, A.J. Green down at Georgia. This guy stacks right up with the best of them. I mean, he is physical, fast, and talented, and really can catch the football.
Guy on the other side, Golden Tate, didn't have bad either. They've got some terrific weapons on the outside. Great play by Donnie Fletcher. Got a fingertip on it at the last moment to knock it away.
Those are the 3 guys right there, a couple of notable freshmen. It's kind of a good year for wide receivers. These are the young guys that are making a name for themselves. Of course, you got a guy named Michael Crabtree out at Texas Tech right now that's lighting it up. Des Bryant at Oklahoma State in the Big 12, a couple of big-time receivers. So a lot of spread offenses, a lot of passing games. You need guys to catch it as well as throw it.
There are many more outstanding wide receivers than there are running backs this year. Speaking of running backs, Aldridge will get an opportunity, and we'll check in with Reese.
All right, Mike, checking on the games on the family of networks. Texas Tech is running like a machine against Oklahoma State. That's on ABC. It's 14-7. You see the Red Raiders are near midfield. Florida's going to clinch the SEC East by beating Vanderbilt. They're still in the first half, but they're up by 4 touchdowns, 28-0. It'll be Florida-Alabama in the title game as Texas Tech moves down to the Oklahoma State 40.
Thank you, Reese. Notre Dame, with its best drive so far, they have moved it out to the 38-yard line. Clausen to throw again, the deep out to Floyd.
Well, you see
He's
the
up to the 47.
The strength of Clausen's arm. This ball is snapped on the left hash mark, and he throws an out route to the right sideline. I mean, it takes a heck of an arm to make this throw. Right on the hash, quick release, not very much air under the ball. It's on the outside of the receiver where it's supposed to be. And not every quarterback that you see playing college football can make that throw, but Jimmy Clausen can.
Still only 45 yards, another first down for the Irish. This time they'll give it to the fullback, Schwab. Picks up a couple. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, speaking of Jimmy Clausen's arm strength, we asked him this week what he thinks he's improved on this season. He said, it is my strength. He said, before last year, I had the elbow surgery. I had the bone spurs that had bothered me even back into high school. He said, I never had a chance to get in the weight room my freshman year. I was too skinny, so he's gained weight. He's gotten in the weight room, and he says, overall, that's my biggest improvement. I'm just bigger, faster, stronger.
And certainly has become the leader of this ball club. Charlie Weiss says everybody looks to Clausen. You can see why. Aldridge breaks an arm tackle, gets to midfield, and then is swarmed under.
Well, he almost had to get in the weight room as a matter of survival also.
Yeah.
I mean, because this team last year, we talked about the offensive improvement. One of the main areas, this team allowed an NCAA record 58 sacks a year ago. 58 quarterback sacks. Coming into tonight's game, after 8 ball games, only 12. So a dramatic improvement in their protection of the quarterback. Now, that's not all the line. Part of that is the quarterback knowing how to hold on to the ball, when to get rid of it, but 58 sacks is a lot of sacks.
This is the first time Notre Dame has been in Boston College territory. They made it by about a foot, and Clausen overthrows and is intercepted. Paul Anderson, 40, he could go. Needs one block, and he got it. Touchdown. Paul Anderson with his 4th interception of the season. Roderick Rollins gave him a great block on tackle Sam Young, and he went 70 yards for the score.
A big-time play for the Boston College defense. And when we show you the replays, the guy who's not going to get credit for it, but who made the play, was the linebacker Mark Herzlich, who got a great drop underneath the intended receiver, the tight end Rudolph, and forced the high throw.
Papanavicius for the point after.
Who needs that field position?
That's exactly what I was thinking. They had squandered so many wonderful opportunities. Anderson says, the heck with this. We're the outstanding unit on this club. He takes it 70 yards, a pick six, and it's 10-0 Boston College.
What do you want as your reward?
I want to take all my ladies out to a really nice dinner. Hey! My daddy's going to sit right between. Hello, hello.
Chase Freedom introduces rewards points you can use like cash to get anything you want.
I want a new house. For Rufus. Oh, Rufus, what kind of house would suit you?
With the Chase Freedom credit card, use your points to get any item, any place. Freedom matters. Chase what matters.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Oh, good.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Chase Freedom. Introducing rewards points you can use like cash. Visit chase.com/freedom. And Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Some of the images of tonight's game were in Chestnut Hill, Boston suburb. And Boston College has spent almost the entire night in Notre Dame territory. For the first time tonight, Notre Dame had crossed into BC territory, and then they give up an interception return for 76 yards. That makes it 10-0. The 10th pick Clawson has allowed this year, and the 15th interception by the Boston College defense, the second they've returned for a touchdown. Golden Tate pinned to the sideline. Cut down at the 28.
We'll go back to the interception. I mentioned Herzlich. Herzlich actually is right there. McLaughlin is the other linebacker. Herzlich is going to get pressure on the quarterback, but McLaughlin is the guy who's going to drop underneath the tight end Rudolph and force the high throw. Watch both linebackers. Herzlich with the pressure. McLaughlin takes a perfect drop and forces Clawson to throw high over his head right into the arms of Paul Anderson. And then Anderson does the rest. But two linebackers really working the rush and the drop beautifully for the Eagles.
6:12 to go in the half. Notre Dame needs to get something started. They'll try it on the ground with Allen. And he only picks up a yard, maybe a yard and a half. If you're a quarterback and throw an interception, it's time to protect yourself.
Yeah, you better. You got to have your head on a swivel. You got to know that people are looking to take shots at you. And then you're better off just staying on the ground at this point, because as soon as you get up, you're going to get knocked down again.
Now, they have changed the rule in the NFL. If the quarterback is not trying to make a tackle, you've got to leave him alone. So quarterbacks don't try to make tackles anymore. Very smartly. Yes. Boston throws underneath. That'll be complete for about 7 yards to Kyle Rudolph, his very talented tight end out of Cincinnati. Only a freshman. Here's Holly.
After Jimmy Clawson of Notre Dame threw that interception, he came to the sideline. He didn't seek any treatment, even though he's got a big bloody elbow. You can see the blood through his shirt. But he did stand right in between Coach Charlie Weiss and quarterback coach Ron Paulus. This is kind of how they've handled him all season. He calls it good cop, bad cop. Charlie usually tells him like it is. Ron loves him up a little bit. But Ron was really in his face, really walking through that whole interception, guys. He stayed right there, listened to everything they had to say.
All right, Holly. Aldridge is in there on 3rd and short. He's the tailback. He follows ASAP, and he is thrilled.
Was that Raji again?
Yes, it was. Big number 90. And you could tell when he showed up because Aldridge went backwards.
Yeah. A 235-pound tailback went backwards when Raji got there.
McLaughlin, it looked like, hit him first.
Yep.
Francois was in there, but then Raji blew it up.
Oh, man. Back-to-back possessions. Excellent plays by McLaughlin as well.
This defensive unit is fired up. And Notre Dame can't do anything on offense again. Here's Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, more scoring again. Texas Tech. Watch this slant throw to Michael Crabtree. A little quick slant and then powering his way in. Graham Harrell, the touchdown pass. 21-7. Number 2 is rolling. Florida hammering Vanderbilt on ESPN2. Hey, this is the news flash. USC's given up actual points. 3-3 in its game against Cal on ABC. Some markets.
Hey, USC, if you're a fan of them, they've got to drive you out of your mind. They look like they could win the NFL one week, and then something happens. BC has had a great first half. So has Chris Crane, the 5th-year senior quarterback, getting a chance to play this year. And they would love to work on the clock right now. They'll deal with Montel Harris. Well, we asked you earlier who has the I'm going to read this again. What two schools had the longest wins? Thank you very much, against Notre Dame all time. And think about the schedule. They always play Michigan. They always play Michigan State. And those are the two teams that have the longest win streaks. Michigan has to go back to 1908 to come up with 6 in a row. Crane, hold on to the ball, hit from behind, and he protected it well enough.
Yeah, see, this is where he has to be really smart. His defense has played a stellar first half. The offense has controlled the ball. They've moved the ball, but they really only have 3 points to show. The touchdown came from the defense, but they've got the lead. They've got momentum. Don't do anything right here to let Notre Dame get back into the game right before halftime. And, you know, you think about that with a rookie quarterback or a freshman or a young quarterback. Again, he's a first-year starting quarterback, but he has played pretty poised here so far in the first half. He's got to play it all the way to the end of the clock.
Notre Dame comes with the blitz. BC has blocked so well. The pass incomplete, but they have kept their quarterback clean for the most part. Harrison Smith was coming. Montel Harris, 5'10", 192, stepped up and protected Chris Crane.
And Jags did a little dance on the sideline. He knew he had man-to-man coverage. His receiver was open. Gunnell ran a nice route to the corner, and Crane just couldn't get the throw down for him.
We talked about Charlie Weiss as the offensive coordinator in New England. Jagosinski was the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. He had been the O coordinator here before he left for a very distinguished stint in the NFL. So both of these guys really know what they're doing. Quigley on to punt instead of Flutie. Golden Tate is deep, a really good kick. Tate will make the fair catch at the 28-yard line. 45-yard punt, 2:39 to go first half. BC by 10.
This deal is going down tonight.
Somebody has to punish the corrupt. On December 5th. Ray Stevenson is the Punisher. Punisher Warzone. This is just the beginning. Rated R. In theaters everywhere December 5th.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section La-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. And they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life.
The new fuel-injected Yamaha Rhino 700, the world's most reliable workhorse, or the ultimate off-road explorer? Yes. The Yamaha Rhino 700 Fi. No matter how you slice it, it's the ultimate side-by-side. For a limited time, get up to $300 customer cash and low financing on a new Rhino.
This week on Monday Night Football, new head coach Mike Singletary tries to right the 49ers ship and do something else probably as he leads San Francisco against Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald, and the high-powered offense of the Arizona Cardinals. Monday Night Football on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS. Be the first coach in NFL history to be wearing 2 belts. Notre Dame trying to do anything on offense. Clawson has to go underneath to Allen.
See, the good news if you're Notre Dame, even though it's been pathetic tonight, is it's only 10-0. I mean, it's not like the game last week where we were out at Oklahoma and was out of reach. I mean, but look at this. This is the, we talked about the car
like
for
last year.
Yeah, we talked about the car for the Boston College offense. This is the Pinto that's up on blocks right now. And it's painted gold, metallic gold right now for Notre Dame.
Blitz coming. Clausen throws underneath. This is Floyd to the 45. This is the second deepest penetration for Notre Dame's offense in the entire half.
See Charlie kind of hobbling along. I mean, he's got the knee injury from the accident earlier in the season. He's actually wearing a brace tonight. He didn't wear a brace last week. And he's got serious damage in his right knee as well as a cracked bone in his femur, at the tip of his femur. And
his knee's a mess.
It is a mess.
Three-man rush. Clausen again throws underneath. That one was almost intercepted. If Hertzlick had not been intent on the coverage and looked for the ball, it hit him right in the chest.
Yeah, I think he was surprised by the ball because the ball did hit him right in the chest. BC rushing 3, dropping 8, and Jimmy Clausen threw right into that 8-man coverage, and Hertzlick had one delivered to him, and he couldn't hold on to it.
He's had 3 picks this year. He is a very good linebacker in pass coverage. 3-man rush again. Now 4th comes late. That's Akins putting pressure on Allen. Dragged down by Francois. They've reached the 48. For more on Charlie Weiss. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, listen to this injury to his knee. Of course, he took that hard hit on the sideline during a game. He has a torn ACL, a torn MCL, PCL, a ruptured capsule behind his kneecap, a dime-sized fracture in the femur. Guys, his team surgeons can't even operate on him because it's such catastrophic damage. He'll have to go to a trauma specialist who would specialize in someone who's been in a car accident and really shattered it.
Holly, Ruben Mendoza and Rick Perry are the 2 guys on either side of him. They are his bodyguards. They throw underneath, complete at the first down for 41. If he gets hit, they get fired. Let's check in with Reese.
All right, Mike, coming up on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. Top 3 teams in the BCS, all with big-time struggles on their hands. One survived, one didn't, one still in doubt. We'll show you how Alabama suffered in overtime and came out on top. Penn State had its heart broken. We'll see where Texas Tech is coming up in a bit.
The Ides of March may have been the death of Julius Caesar. November has been the death of top-ranked college football teams for the last 2 years. Clausen throws high and wide to Michael Floyd. If it's November, keep your head on a swivel because somebody is coming to get you.
Especially if you're ranked high.
Last November, BCS number 1 went only 2 for 3. BCS number 2, 1 and 4. And it wasn't just upsets. They were stunning upsets. Clausen.
Nice job by Clausen.
Yes, it was.
You know, it's so important for a quarterback, a young quarterback, to learn how to just keep a play alive. Just buy a little extra time by moving in the pocket, but not losing your vision down the field. And that's exactly what Jimmy Clausen did there.
Notre Dame will use one of its 3 timeouts.
Watch Jimmy Clausen step up in the pocket to keep the play alive. Buy a little more time, but he never loses sight of his receivers down the field. Nice work in the pocket.
And that was Notre Dame's longest gain of the entire night, 16 yards. 2 races left and his point lead dwindling. Jimmy Johnson tries to hold off the hard-charging Carl Edwards as he strives for a 3rd straight Sprint Cup championship. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues in Phoenix tomorrow on ABC. Coverage starts with NASCAR Countdown at 3 o'clock Eastern. And Gearhead says Jimmy Johnson's got it.
Well, you know, the 3rd guy there has an outside chance, Greg Biffle, because if it can get to Homestead, that's where he's the best. And we'll see. Jimmy Johnson's in pretty good shape, though.
37 seconds to go in the half. Boston steps up, flag down. This one's going to come back. Armando Allen gets a block inside the 10.
This one's coming back.
Yeah.
Again, you got those two big guys on the inside.
Number 51 offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Those are good defensive tackles.
They're excellent.
For Boston College.
I mean, B.J. Raji is an NFL guy. I mean, he's an early draft pick. Look at this guy. Again, he's low to the ground, 6'1", powerful, 325 pounds. And, you know, when he lowers and gets underneath you, there's just nothing you can do against him. But that's what has made this Boston College defense so good. They are so strong inside with Brace and Raji that they bounce everything outside and they can pressure the quarterback. Raji leads the team with 4 sacks as a defensive tackle.
And tackles at any level of football are the hardest thing to find. And these guys are good ones. Intercepted at the 21-yard line, picked by Roderick Rollins. That's his second of the year.
Now, this was not a smart throw by Jimmy Clausen because Rollins was a rolled-up corner, but there was nothing that threatened him in the flat, so he continued to drift underneath the receiver Tate. Normally, if you see a rolled-up corner, there's a soft spot between the corner and the safety. But Rollins, there was nothing to threaten him, and so he was able to come underneath that and just drift back and make the pick. So you're thinking there's a hole right here between the corner and the safety. But watch what Rollins does, because nothing comes out to threaten him. He just keeps drifting, and all of a sudden he's right in the throwing lane.
So BC will be more than happy to go to the locker room leading 10-0. They dominated this first half against visiting Notre Dame. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Coach, you'd finally found something getting going on offense there, but what's continuing to happen with those interceptions?
Well, I mean, on that one right there, he thought that he could get the ball. The guy was bailing on Golden right there, so he thought that he'd get the ball over the top. Obviously, was wrong on that one. And in the early one to Kyle, who was cover 2, he had, you had him open. He just overthrew him on the pass.
Thanks, Coach.
Our halftime score, Boston College 10, Notre Dame nothing. Let's go to Reese Davis and the Pontiac Performance halftime report.
All right, Mike, Boston College trying to make it 6 in a row against Notre Dame. Glad to have you with us. My Hall of Fame running mates here, as always, Lou Holtz and Mark May. In a day that has shaken up the BCS and threatened to totally turn it into upheaval, there's still one undefeated team left that has business to attend to down in Lubbock. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Graham Harrell puts a snap on the ground, and the Pokes recover quickly. And Kendall Hunter, who's, hey, at some point, Oklahoma State wins this game. You got to start talking Heisman with this guy, Mark.
Absolutely. Coming into the game over 1,200 yards rushing to 11 rushing touchdowns. There's his 12.
So you think Texas Tech might have a little bit of a hangover after the Texas victory last week? Not so much. Harrell, Edward Britton, check out this throw and catch, Coach.
Well, this is tremendous. He has great receivers, but you better talk about Graham Harrell for the Heisman also.
Well, we have. I think he's already been mentioned, right? Is he your first-place guy right now?
At halftime, he is.
Britton gets 1 foot down. Harrell right back to work, looking for the elf, Eric Morris. I just like calling people the elf. That's the nickname that Mike Leach gave Morris. And then, after a Crabtree touchdown, the Pokes come right back. The other running back, Keith Toston, goes in, 21-14. Remember, these two played 49-45 last year. A lot more scoring to go on ABC. On ESPN2, if this thing were a fight, they would stop it on cuts. If it were a horse, they would have shot it. Florida and Vanderbilt. Tim Tebow, Lewis Murphy.
Terrific job by Tebow, rolling out of the pocket, throwing to a ball to a wide-open wide receiver. He's at his best when he does that. But, Coach, you got to put Tebow on your Heisman list.
Oh, he's on my Heisman list, absolutely.
You got him number 1 a few weeks ago.
Well, I fought for it, but the people, you convinced me no.
Early exit polling now says that Florida is going to win the SEC East and go to the SEC championship game. Assuming they hold this lead over Vanderbilt, is 28-0, almost at halftime.
In exit polls, I project Florida the winner here.
3-3, Cal and USC. Mark Sanchez, Patrick Turner, touchdown. Now, USC did a great thing. They came out snapped the extra point and got it kicked quickly because this should have been incompletion, Mark.
It was a touchdown, Reese.
It was ruled a touchdown.
Thank you.
Let's be clear about that.
It was a touchdown.
A great effort. Ball hit the ground. Touchdown USC. It's 10-3. About to go to halftime. Some seeing that on ABC. Still to come on the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Penn State right down to a final kick in Iowa City, and it went even later than that in Baton Rouge.
This halftime report is powered by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Says love like beef.
Try Chick-fil-A's new peppermint chocolate chip milkshake, available only for the holidays.
Congrats, got to say you've done your research.
Oh yeah, we went on cars.com, we compared models side by side, found out the price we should be paying. Feeling pretty good.
You should.
And I didn't have to resort to plan B.
Oh, what's plan B?
In order to get you to agree to my terms quickly, I was going to have you eat these brownies, which I mixed with a horse laxative.
Excuse me. Keep talking.
My husband kind of has a sweet tooth.
Monday, NFL legend Mike Singletary looks to return the Niners back to prominence as they take on Kurt Warner and the dynamic receiving duo of the first-place Cardinals. ESPN Monday Night Football, 49ers Cardinals at 8:30.
Fully awesome!
Blazers Heat and Rocket Suns, Wednesday on ESPN.
They are superstars on a global scale.
They're fighting in the center of the ring.
Undefeated Super Joe Calzaghe, lightning fast with superior skills.
Calzaghe begins to hammer it home.
Undeterred Superman Roy Jones Jr., big, bad, and supernatural.
Jones gets his vindication.
Now their worlds collide. Battle of the Superpowers, Calzaghe versus Jones.
Calzaghe versus Jones is live November 8th on pay-per-view.
From all of us here at Fusillo Hyundai, and I got news for you. During our fall extravaganza in the month of November, you know, we're giving a lot of money away, and we're giving coffee away, and we're giving turkeys away, and we're doing all kinds of things. But you know what? It's only right. Things are tough out there right now. That's why Hyundai's going to bat. That's why they're raising the rebates. It's never been a better time to buy, folks. Now is the time to buy. Come down and see us, have a little fun, experience the ball games on in the showrooms, and we're going to make you huge.
You're watching the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report.
Trip to Iowa City for Joe Paterno was billed as the last remaining obstacle, or at least the most likely one, to a perfect season. Penn State up on Iowa 16-7. Ricky Stanzi, Harold Johnson-Coulianos. 16-14, Anthony Scarano pondering the blown coverage. Derek Williams, direct snap, scored, Coach.
Well, this Penn State bounces right back, take a 23-14 lead. Looks like they're going to be secure.
Sean Green, the only running back in the country, over 100 yards in every game, Mark.
Does a terrific job of following his blockers into the end zone. Terrific offensive line for Iowa.
23-21, and now Daniel Murray, toe meets leather. High enough, long enough. Perfect season over for the Nittany Lions. Murray, the sophomore from right there in Iowa City, wins it 24-23, and it's a Pontiac game-changing nominee. Reaction after the game.
Coach, what is it like to take down undefeated Penn State, number 3 ranked team in the country?
Well, you know, we have so much respect for their program, their team. They're a fantastic football team, and it's a real tribute to our players. They hung it tough. They played a great 60 minutes. Our staff did a great job. Penn State's an outstanding team, too.
We didn't play well the second half, but you got to be careful. I don't want to take anything away from Iowa. The Iowa kids stayed tough, played hard. The quarterback played a heck of a game for them. What am I going to tell you?
Very difficult day for the Nittany Lions. Disappointing finish for them. Look at the difference in the way Iowa's offense performed in the second half versus the first half, and really the way their defense performed as well in terms of stopping the Penn State running attack.
And not only that, how about the second half, Sean Green running the football? The offensive line I mentioned before of Iowa did an outstanding job, particularly in the second half of this game.
But anytime you can stop the run, you have a good chance to win the football game, and that's what Iowa did the second half.
Alabama #1 in the BCS against LSU. Nick Saban back in Baton Rouge, and I mean, they were frothing at the mouth for the fans to get there. Opening drive, John Parker Wilson on the move. Finds Earl Alexander, and Earl a little overzealous stretching for the end zone.
And it's a great play by Alexander to get the ball there, but you have to protect it. Chad Jones comes across and knocks it loose.
Great play by Jones, touchback. LSU has the football. Alabama got a turnover and ended up scoring to make it 7-0, but Jarrett Lee answers. Demetrius Byrd tied at 7. After Alabama fumbled the ensuing kickoff, Charles Scott.
This is just a tremendous job of running and missed tackle there by safety man, which doesn't happen very often under Coach Saban's defensive team.
Alabama's second in the nation in rush D, but LSU went for around 200 yards on him, but turnovers. Rashad Johnson, his second interception of the day. Pick 6, the 6th pick 6 that Jarrett Lee has thrown this season, easily the most in the nation, tied at 14. Second half, Glenn Coffey to the left.
You know who he follows? Big Andre Smith into the end zone.
21-14, Crimson Tide, but LSU answers again. Scott tied at 21. Alabama drives down for the game-winning points. 29 yards out. Lee Tippin blocked. Little Bayou magic rising up as it got dark for the half. Les Miles, we go to overtime on a third down play in overtime. A game-changing nominee, the senior captain, Rashad Johnson, his third pick of the game. And on the first play of overtime for the Tide, not conservative, John Parker Wilson to Julio Jones.
And a terrific job by the freshman of coming with this ball. He's so strong for a true freshman, making huge plays for Bama.
7 catches, 128 yards, and the senior John Parker Wilson caps it off. Touchdown, Alabama, 27-21. The Crimson Tide wins it. They clinch the SEC West. They're going to the title game where they'll play Florida. That'll be official when the Gators finish off Vanderbilt. So much talk about Alabama not really being tested in terms of being behind. Only trailed for 1:15 coming into this game, but they were pushed by LSU in an emotional, hostile environment, and they came through with a winning play.
And big plays by the defense, but I think the key was on the offensive side of the ball. Glenn Coffey running the football, and not only that, the freshman Julio Jones coming up with play after play after play, over 100 yards receiving in this game. They went to him when they had to have the big plays, and that's just incredible. In a big game like this, you go to a true freshman to bail you out, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, but the fact that they forced so many turnovers. I mean, the interceptions, they scored one touchdown, set up another one with it, but this is just something that Alabama's done this entire year. They play very, very smart. They protect the football. They play physical. They can run the ball, and they stop the run. This was a very good LSU football team, a very good offensive line. But the quarterback just hurt him. I mean, the last interception there in overtime was into double coverage.
We saw something from Alabama that we hadn't seen all year, coming from behind, being tested and finding a way to win.
So Alabama now has 2 weeks in which they'll just try to settle scores. Mississippi State and Auburn's had their number lately. Try to win those games and try to stay in contention for the national title.
This halftime report is powered by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
America's biggest automobile company and its dealers want to help get you the loan you need. It's General Motors financing that fits, offering access to millions of dollars and hundreds of lenders to help get you behind the wheel. It's our way of putting you and America in the driver's seat. During the Red Tag event, the price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a Sierra for $18,913 for a total value of $7,202. See your local Buick, Pontiac, GMC dealer.
Actually, I think we both know where the market's going. All right, it's going up and down. And yeah, there are a lot of opinions out there. But you want my opinion? Stop worrying about where the market's going and start thinking about where you're getting your advice.
You know, scientific tests have proven that when you drink Dr. Pepper slowly, the 23 flavors taste even better. Hey, I get it, because half my life's been in slow motion. Watch this. Slower is better. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
That was fitted, Dr. J, right there.
P is for Phoenix. But for Jimmy Johnson, there's another P that is even more profound. Pure and simple, P is for pressure. And he'll need plenty of patience in pursuit of racing's ultimate prize. The chase continues tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Wild shootout on the bluegrass between Georgia and Kentucky. Dogs having to reassess their goals after getting thumped by Florida. No Sean Marino joins Herschel Walker, the only dog backs to post back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Bulldogs up 28-24. Matthew Stafford marked at a career-high 376 yards passing. He finds A.J. Green when he's down 3 late in the fourth.
And another true freshman, but Stafford does a wonderful job of keeping the play alive. But A.J. Green going up between 4 defenders and coming down with a touchdown.
Dogs take the lead. Kentucky driving back. They had a chance, but Randall Tex Cobb. It's a game-changing nominee picked off by DeMarcus Dobbs.
He's got that glass jaw.
Is that the knockout punch?
That's the knockout punch.
The Georgia haymaker in the red zone, 42-38. Dogs escape against Rich Brooks' team. In the ACC, Georgia Tech, North Carolina. Yellow Jackets trailing 14-0. Jabo Shaw turned the ball over. North Carolina's defense did a good job against the option attack, Coach.
They really did. They didn't defend the wishbone. They attacked the wishbone and broke it in two.
In the same drive, Ryan Houston would go in.
Well, they just manhandled them up front. Georgia Tech's a very good defense football team, so this was an impressive performance by Sexton and the entire North Carolina team.
Sexton threw a couple of touchdown passes. Hakeem Nicks hauling one in there. 28-7, Butch Davis's team wins.
On Tuesday, the battle between good and evil begins on DVD and Blu-ray.
Now stay down!
From the visionary director of Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, crap.
Hellboy 2. Own the 3-disc special edition for a limited time Tuesday.
Taste Papa John's new Zesty Italiano Pizza. Spicy salami, pepperoni, spicy Italian sausage, and 4 cheeses. Or the Tuscan 6-cheese pizza, just $12.99 each. Or buy both for $10.99 each. Call or click papajohns.com.
At T. Rowe Price, successful investing is about balancing risk and reward intelligently. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 75% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average, finding the right opportunity. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Mujeres no me falta ni el dinero ni el amor. Ay, 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 mi amor. Ay, ay, morena.
The entertainment you want when you want it, and not a moment sooner. That's the power of you.
It's that time of year again, Syracuse. It's our great fall extravaganza right here the month of November. Everybody's getting ready for winter, and guess what? Whether you're talking the Tucson or the Santa Fe, they're all starting under $20,000 now because of these extremely huge rebates. That's right, folks. I'm talking Tucson's from $18,500. I don't think it gets any better, and it will never get any better. Gas, $3 a gallon. Come in, see what it's all about, and be you.
You've already seen a couple of the candidates for the Pontiac Game-Changing Performance of the Week. Check out College Football Final tonight. It'll be right after SportsCenter, which follows the game. You can see all of the plays. 4 finalists for the Pontiac Game-Changing Performance. Log on to ESPN.com. Search Pontiac to cast your vote. Winning school, $5,000 in the General Scholarship Fund. Courtesy of Pontiac, Mark Lou and I will bring you the nominees tonight.
All right, thank you. Coming up on Sunday NFL Countdown, witness the chain reaction Tom Brady's injury sparked in a crowded AFC East. Plus, Chris Johnson and Matt Forte, in their own words, how these runners have broken through the rookie wall. And Kenny Mayne takes us behind the scenes on election night with Barack Obama. How fantasy football took center stage on one of the most important nights in our nation's history. All tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday NFL Countdown. Now let's send it to Mike Tirico.
Well, out here in Arizona, they await Mike Singletary, the Hall of Famer, his second game as a head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. He made a lot of headlines in Game 1 for everything but what happened in the football game. The tirade, the halftime motivation, all that stuff. They may be the headline grabbers, but the real story here is how good the Cardinals are.
Cardinals are 5-3 right now, and they're in position to win this division and then host a playoff game for the first time since when? Not in Arizona, not in St. Louis, in Chicago. 1947 last time they hosted a playoff game.
And the headline is the play of Kurt Warner. He's having an MVP-type season. And remember, he was a two-time league MVP with the St. Louis Rams, and he has that same explosive repertoire around him of wide receivers. You see the big plays from the Arizona Cardinals, and I love that Tim Hightower, now explosive running back, is in the backfield.
Yeah, he's taking Edgerrin James' spot. Hard to believe, but they are turning it around in Arizona. See you from out here Monday night.
All right, guys, corn eyes are clearly in violation of the company dress code. No socks, especially if you're wearing capri pants. Texas Tech has a lead. Texas won, so did Oklahoma. I bet I get in trouble for that.
America's biggest automobile company and its dealers want to help get you the loan you need. It's General Motors financing that fits, offering access to millions of dollars and hundreds of lenders to help get you behind the wheel. It's our way of putting you and America in the driver's seat. During the Red Tag event, the price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a G6 for $19,528 for a total value of $3,057. See your local Buick, Pontiac, GMC dealer.
A lot goes through your mind after an accident. But with Liberty Mutual, insurance issues won't.
Man.
Because we offer unlimited rental coverage, new car replacement, and accident forgiveness to help ease your mind. And that's our policy. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
What? Hey, watch the computers! Come on, guys. The island's big enough for all of us. That's a truce!
Get a scratch-resistant magnesium alloy chassis and architectural-grade aluminum construction with the HP Elite Book. It's loaded with features and ready for anything. For the latest in HP notebooks, visit CDW.com.
The strength to build a better future can be found in the Army. With leadership skills and training in over 150 careers, the Army takes you to your strongest point. And whatever you do after that, in your career or your community, you'll just keep getting stronger. There's strong, and then there's Army Strong. See what it's like at GoArmy.com.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. The first half stats, nothing to write home about except the 2 Notre Dame turnovers. Those are the keys to this ball game. That and the missed field goal for BC, that would have made it 13-0 instead of 10, but the interception return was the huge play in that half.
Those turnovers, clearly the difference in the first half between these two teams. Numbers everywhere else pretty similar.
Boston College will get the first shot on offense. Jeff Smith on the return. He's out to the 18-yard line. Well, we talked early about Boston College knowing their offense could only go as fast and as far as the quarterback could take them. How do we evaluate? What are our car choices in this first half?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give them a Honda Accord because I think Chris Crane has really played pretty well. I mean, I really think even though they've only generated 3 points, he has played solid. He's made good decisions of when to run, when to throw it away. He hasn't forced bad plays, and he's played to the strength of the team, which is their defense. Now, I think he'll have to do more in this half to secure a Boston College win.
And a Lamborghini.
Well, I don't know if it'll be a Lamborghini, just a souped-up Honda Accord.
Which is nice. Which is nice. Josh Hayden, with his first carry of the second half, picks up a couple.
I mean, you look at Chris Crane's numbers. They're not going to jump out at you. 6 for 14. He's under 50%. He's run the ball 3 times, but he hasn't thrown it to the white shirts. And he has allowed his defense to play and to make Notre Dame go the long field. They've played the field position battle. And really, the play calling has been really conservative as well. So they protected Chris Crane, and Chris Crane has protected his defense.
Crane under pressure this time. Look out from behind. Down he goes. And there's a flag down as well. Ethan Johnson, the backup defensive end, got him from behind.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Hands to the face. Number 96.
Hand to the face.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's going to be on Pat Kuntz, and that's huge. Well, instead of a sack, you got an automatic first down.
Huge penalty. We've seen a couple that went against Boston College similar to this.
There it is.
Yep, caught him right across the face. I actually think he hit the center in the face, too. On his way to the quarterback, I think he hit Matt Tennant under the face mask, and then he hit the quarterback, Chris Crane. So a potential break for the Eagles.
Again, it isn't much as far as the strength of a blow, but that's the rule.
Yeah.
You hit a quarterback in the head, it's a penalty.
Now what do we got? We need an explanation, because now they're saying it's 3rd and 12. They waved it off.
How can they wave it off? I mean, I understand you can wave off a penalty, but he hit him in the head. Unless they're saying he was across the line of scrimmage and therefore he's not protected anymore, but it didn't look like he was. That's the only way that I can think of that they would wave off that. Blitz coming.
What a throw.
Incomplete. Brandon Robinson couldn't hold it, and boy, are you right. Crane, what a beautiful throw.
3rd down and long. They expected man coverage. They got it. One-on-one with his primary receiver, working against Rayshon McNeil, and it's a perfect throw. Out over the shoulder.
Oh.
And Brandon Robinson just not able to stay with it. He's trying to plead that the ground caused the ball to come out. But that was a perfect throw by Chris Crane.
Quigley to punt.
Well, this could be the best field position to start with that Notre Dame has had in the entire football game.
Nice high floating punt. Loose ball, Boston College.
He took his eye off it, Mike. He didn't know whether to call a fair catch or whether to try to return it. And at the last minute, he tried to get a glance at who was coming down and lost his focus on the football.
Brad Newman will make the recovery. Golden Tate with a big mistake as a kick returner.
You see those eyes? The eyes did not look the ball all the way in. At the last minute, he tried to take a glance at who was coming, and the ball went right through his arms.
And instead of great field position for Notre Dame, Boston College is back in the same place it has been all year. And now Tate's going to hear about it on the sideline. The 3rd Notre Dame turnover. The other 2 were Jimmy Clausen interceptions. Montel Harris starts this series as the running back. Crane throws. That ball was bobbled, and they're going to say it's caught at the 41 by Gunnell. Looked like he juggled it just as he got to the sideline. Hard to tell from that angle. You've got to get 1 foot down with possession, and he's got it. Good call. The line judge was right there on top of the play. Crane again. On the run, throws, incomplete. Well, the longer this game goes on, the more impressed I am with Chris Crane. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, checking in with BC coach Jeff Jagodzinski at the half, he told me that they have to make something happen right here. He said, we're going to get the ball here to start the second half. We have to make plays downfield. He said, I feel like we're able to rush the ball. We have to set that tone. They had 77 yards in the first half, so it's something they feel like they can hang their hat on. But more importantly, he said, we have to execute on third down. He said, we've been terrible. Good thing our defense has been keeping us in it.
Well, here they go right here. Third and very manageable right here for Chris Crane.
Crane throws underneath and has another completion to Ryan Purvis. And Purvis will have a first down, upended by Kyle McCarthy, but not before he had first down yardage.
Big target, 6'4", 260 pound, the senior. And Reinholds, Pennsylvania, did a nice job getting turned around, showing his numbers to the quarterback, just past the first down marker, and a new set of downs for the Eagles.
Chris Crane had not played since his senior year in high school. Sat on a bench, watched Matt Ryan have a brilliant career here. This is his shot. Harris inside the 20.
Boy, nice blocking on the left side. The center, Matt Tennant, with a big-time block. Watch the center, 65, get a block right here on the inside. Nice job. They hit him. Jeff Jagodzinski said he thought they could rush the football. That was a big opening that time for Harris.
A touchdown here would make it a 3-score game. A field goal, it would still be 2.
There's the
quarterback keeper. And Todd, you said earlier, they can't ignore him. And again, they gave him running room this time.
Well, you just have to do it. It's not a called keeper by the quarterback. That's the quarterback has to make that decision on his own. If he sees that inside or the outside guy collapse and don't respect the quarterback. A great decision again by Chris Crane. Maurice Richardson was the defensive end. He was chasing the running back the whole way, and nobody accounted for the quarterback, and Chris Crane did the right thing.
First and goal, Eagles. Crane out of the shotgun. And they'll whistle this one dead.
Number 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Boy, those are killer penalties. You know, your offense has only scored 3 points. You've had good field position, and you haven't been able to get on the scoreboard or in the end zone. And now you're down in there inside the 10-yard line with a first down, and you get a false start. And now you back yourself up outside the 10. I mean, you don't want to help Notre Dame's defense out in this situation.
Harris just tripped up as he got inside the 10. Maurice Richardson, number 53, saved what looked like it could have been a big gainer. Just had him around the ankles.
I kind of like these two freshman backs. Montel Harris, we mentioned, went down to the end in recruiting. He was on his way to Duke. And at the last week of recruiting, Boston College offered him a scholarship. From Jacksonville, Florida, went to Trinity Christian High School down there. And again, Jagodzinski told these two freshmen, you come here, you're going to start. And Josh Hayden and Montel Harris, two freshmen, the number 1 and 2 ball carriers.
Crane, touchdown. Brandon Robinson, who dropped a bomb on a stop fade, beat Terrell Lambert. What a throw, what a catch.
You practice this over and over. The way you rep it is you throw it to his back left shoulder, his back outside shoulder, and then the receiver stops and catches the football. Thrown in the right spot, run the correct way by the receiver. Nothing a defensive back can do in that situation.
If the corner does not get his head around, if he's not looking for the football, you're right. He's got no chance. The fumble on the return by Golden Tate, the third for the Irish, sets up a touchdown march, making it 17-0.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Wait, my Volcano Taco. Don't look at me.
Why pay more for heat when you can think outside the bun?
VitaPacks from GNC. Designed by our nutritional science team to give you all the vitamins and supplements you need every day in one convenient pack. Hop by GNC and choose the pack that's right for you. GNC. Live well.
Okay, Tommy. Beep. Hey, Nancy's phone. Nancy doesn't have AT&T, so no bars here. Yeah, we're not getting the call about how Freddy the fun-loving dinosaur's costume was damaged. Apparently, they're sending T-Rex. Yeah, we missed that call. Yay, memories.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places. Get an exclusive quick messaging phone for $79.99 after mail-in rebate.
It's Vietnam, an American history. The complete visual record of the war on DVD. You'll finally get the whole picture, from Tonkin Gulf to the fall of Saigon. Filmed in the heat of combat and behind enemy lines. Operation Rolling Thunder, the siege of Khe Sanh, the Tet Offensive. This is Vietnam without the bias, without the spin, digitally remastered on crystal clear DVD. Get Vietnam, an American history on 3 DVDs for just $59.99. But wait, call with your credit card and you'll pay only $39.99. And if you call in the next 10 minutes, you'll get free shipping and handling. This is no Hollywood movie. This is the real thing. Newsweek hailed it as riveting and powerful. The New York Times said it may change opinions about the war. Call now to get Vietnam, an American history on 3 DVDs for just $39.99 with free shipping and handling.
Call 1-800-708-0388 to order Vietnam and American history. When you use your credit card, call now.
Hey, you have your tickets, right? To what, you ask? Well, the Dr. Pepper ACC Football Championship. The 48-hour celebration of ACC football played this year in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. You know, palm trees, sandy beaches, and this year, a lot of ACC football action. So get your tickets now for the December 6th Dr. Pepper ACC Football Championship. Because if you wait too long, it may be too late.
ESPN's college football primetime available in sparkling clear, ESPN HD, and Boston College working up a little bit of a lather here as they're leading 17-0 over the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. BC has won 5 in a row in this series.
Tell you what, they have come to play tonight, too, particularly on the defensive end, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Lost their last 2, playing extremely well tonight.
Golden Tate, who would love to atone for that mistake on the punt return.
Boy, another penalty on a return.
Got it out to the 32.
During the return, look at block in the back. Number 25 return team.
That's 2 on him. That's 2 penalties on returns for Jonas Gray of Notre Dame. And the turnovers has been the story tonight for Notre Dame. Jimmy Clausen with a pair of interceptions, one of which was returned for a touchdown. Another one killed a potential scoring drive for the Irish. And then here in the third quarter, they tried to get the ball for their first possession, and it was fumbled by Tate, and it led to a Boston College touchdown. And a 17-0 Eagle lead at this point.
And psychologically, Notre Dame needs something in the worst way. Clausen comes out, completes it to Tate. He's up to the 30. And if you're honest in your evaluation about the Irish, they are so much better than they were a year ago, but this is still not a really good football team.
Well, and you've got to say this, too. I mean, they're 5-3 coming into the ballgame tonight, but their wins have been against San Diego State, Michigan, who we know is a down football program, Purdue, Stanford, and Washington. They have not beaten anybody really of note this season. Their losses to Michigan State, North Carolina, and Pittsburgh last week in 4 overtime.
Clausen under pressure, throws to Allen, somehow stayed alive long enough to get the completion, but for no gain. Hertzlich again, very aggressive on defense.
Boston College's defense is impressing me. I watched about 3 games on tape, and I was impressed, but I really thought they would miss. You know, they've lost 2 key starters off of this defense this year to injuries. Brian Toll, their starting linebacker, broke a leg in the Virginia Tech game. Alex Albright, their best pass rusher a year ago from a defensive end position, had a neck injury in the second game of the season. Well, they haven't missed a beat tonight. They look outstanding.
Come on a blitz. And Clausen can't get rid of it this time. Ramella from the right side gets his second sack of the year.
But it's the push inside that starts it. Watch the push inside again by Raji. He just drives the center right back into the lap of the quarterback, and as Clausen tries to move out of there, he runs right into Ramella. These 2 tackles, and most particularly B.J. Raji, who could very well be a first or second round draft pick, they just clog everything up. And they push everything back. They don't just take up space. They create havoc in the backfield.
They were trying to block Ramella with a tight end, and that didn't work. 3rd and 19 for Clausen. Pressure coming. Screen. Allen cuts it back. Good game, but not nearly enough to get them in first down territory. Akins makes another tackle. Notre Dame not good enough to make these kind of mistakes and beat a good ball club.
And I'll tell you what, I think Charlie Weiss has got to be really surprised, because talking to him before the game, he really felt like they were getting very close to being a very good offensive football team. I mean, he really had that feeling. Mike Haywood talking to him, they felt like they had a real good beat on this Boston College defense and their blitzes, and there's a block. Blocked!
Boston College will get the football as Moma, the backup wide receiver, came in and got it right off the foot of the kicker, Eric Moss.
Moma is 6'6". He's right here lined up. He's going to get right inside and use that big long body to get the block. Last week, Moss had his first block punt against Pittsburgh. This time, another block in the next game. Very crucial again, and Boston College set up again in great field position.
A straight line, the shortest distance between 2 points, and he came right up the gut. This could be the killer drive if Boston College could take advantage. Outstanding defensive play that time by Harrison Smith, who would not let Chris Crane get by after Crane kept the ball in the option.
Not only did he not let Crane get by, but he also beat the block of Rich Lapham, because they actually that time were blocking it for the quarterback to run, and Lapham was not able to get a block on Harrison Smith.
I can't remember a game when a team has started so many times in the opponent's territory.
It wears on you if you're a defense, too. It absolutely wears on you.
Crane, good protection again, throws underneath. And Robert Blanton showing you closing speed on that play.
This was last week in the close loss to Clemson. They were down 17-7 early in the fourth quarter. Justin Jarvis, a wide receiver, got the block. Roderick Rollins was able to pick it up and return it 25 yards for a touchdown, and that really started Boston College's comeback in that football game. So back-to-back weeks, block punts by wide receivers, and in this case, set up again for another scoring opportunity.
Boy, they have blocked well for Crane all night. There was pressure there, and he goes down at the 15-yard line. There's also a penalty marker down. Maurice Richardson makes the stop.
Offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Holly Rowe, what do you have?
You guys, things are very quiet right now on the Notre Dame sideline. After that block punt, the punter just went down, stood by himself, a very lonesome figure there on the sideline. Nobody really talking to him. The offense is sitting here very low energy right now. Their coach, Rob Ianello, one of the assistants, kept getting in their face, kind of talking to him like, guys, we just got to keep working. Let's keep working. But the BC fans are really getting on Notre Dame right now. I heard him screaming, do you guys have any heart? The Notre Dame players keep looking back, and it's kind of getting in their heads right now.
Apanavicius will try the field goal. This will be from 32. He's 1 out of 2 tonight. I get 2 out of 3, and for this, or 1 out of 3 for the season. He is 8 out of 15. Ouch. Coming up, we'll remember another kick, the one that shocked college football 15 years ago.
Read the road with one of the most advanced all-wheel drive systems ever built. Introducing Saab Cross-Wheel Drive, available in the 9.3 sports sedan.
Hey, Vincent! Go State!
Hey, Ham. Why did that guy call you Vincent?
Because that's my real name, Bergwood.
It is? How do you know that?
He's my Allstate agent.
Oh, he insures your car.
And my boat.
You got a boat?
Ah, my wife's a big-time skier.
You're married?
Allstate agents know who you really are and what you really need. Call one today for a free Good Hands coverage checkup. Are you in good hands?
Where'd you meet your wife?
Pilates.
She's European.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters. It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your City card can help you write it, because City never sleeps.
In Skywalker is the Republic's only hope.
This Tuesday,
Last time.
the movie that launched the sensational new TV series is coming to DVD.
Gotta keep up.
This is where the fun begins.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars. You can buy it Tuesday on Blu-ray and DVD. Rated PG.
This is Kirk Herbstreit. You know you're a true Outback fan when you think cutting up the middle means slicing into our Outback Special sirloin. Big, bold flavor seared in. The kicker, just $9.99. Crave on.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Saab. Introducing Saab Cross-Wheel Drive. All-wheel drive that reads the road. And Allstate. Proud sponsor of college football and the 75th Allstate Sugar Bowl. Are you in good hands?
If you joined us late, this has been a dominating performance by the Eagles of Boston College. They are really pleasing a sellout crowd of 44,500 here in Chestnut Hill.
Well, the problem for Notre Dame is they can't run the ball for an inch against this Boston College defense. They are totally one-dimensional right now.
Allen will try it.
I mean, that was their 13th carry, and before that, only 12 yards rushing. Most of your big plays in the passing game are going to come off of play action, but when you can't run at all, you can't set up play action. So they've been totally one-dimensional to this point.
Well, they're 91st in the country coming in and rushing. Their strength has been crossing, throwing the ball, but you can't be totally one-dimensional and hope to succeed.
Well, and again, against a good defense where you get chances to get big chunks of yardage in your passing game, typically are off of play action, not drop back or not shotgun throws down the field.
BC's defense has been even better than advertised. This one is underneath the Floyd incomplete. Let's check in with Reese.
Mike, here's what's going on in the family of networks. You just see the catch in the middle of the field. I believe that was Edward Britton who made the grab. No, Detron Lewis, pardon me, for Texas Tech, giving the Red Raiders first and goal after an Oklahoma State turnovers, 28-14 there. Texas Tech trying to go up by 3 touchdowns. Florida blowing out Vanderbilt. Gators, once this is officially over, will be the SEC East champions. Game on ESPN2. It's 42-0.
Thanks, Reese. Congratulations to Florida.
Well, that should be some SEC championship battle between Florida and Alabama.
Woo. Clausen under pressure, had to throw it high because he had linemen right in his face. Akins was coming on the corner blitz and made Clausen throw it away.
Well, Frank Spaziani has known when to call the pressure tonight. This is an unblocked guy. It's a zone pressure, so it's not man-to-man coverage. It's still zone coverage on the outside. but an unblocked guy forces the poor throw by Clausen.
Most will punt again. Remember, the last one was blocked. Gunnell is the deep man. Returnable kick. Gunnell will signal for a fair catch. Let's take a look back at 1993.
National championship perhaps hanging in the balance. McDougal. Touchdown, Dawson! 41-yard attempt to win the game and end the Irish national championship hopes.
Got it! 41-39 the final, a 41-yard last-second field goal. Notre Dame's got a lot of work to do tonight before they have a chance to pull off that kind of dramatic comeback. And let's check in with Holly with a special guest.
Well, David Gordon is the kicker who made that very famous kick back in '93. There's 5 seconds left on the clock. You're facing the #1 team in the country. What was going through your mind at that point?
I was just basically focused on making the kick, and hopefully I was going to get a good snap and hold, and that was the case, and I knew I could make the kick.
You did make it. How did that kick change the course of your life from that point on?
I've had so many people come up to me and just thank me for making that kick. All positive. There are a few Notre Dame fans that we know that don't like me too much, but overall, the BC fans are very happy with it. So.
I know kickers get a lot of grief, but what is it like in that moment when, you know, everybody talks about how uneven kickers can be, but to come through in a moment like that, how does that stand up for the kickers everywhere else?
Well, in my case, it was just great preparation that Coach Coughlin, we practiced it all the time, every Thursday, and I was very prepared, and mentally I knew I could do it because I didn't practice, and I knew I could do it. So.
And he did, and it changed the course of history.
All right, thanks, Holly. It is a lonely life of a kicker, particularly when things are not going well, like they're not for Apanavicius. Ian Williams with a good block of the quarterback, Chris Crane, that time.
Yeah, I still kind of like my bullpen idea.
Fan you are.
Yeah. Well, they're important, but I just like to keep them sequestered. Call them when you need them.
Golden Tate is deep, just inside the Irish 20. Clock running, 4:08 to go, third quarter. Notre Dame's really going to have to step on the gas here. Tate to the outside, the kicker to beat. Golden Tate to the 41-yard line, a 43-yard return after a punt of 46. That's exactly what they needed.
Well, Golden Tate is a special athlete. I mean, this guy was a running back in high school, a 10-8 100-meter guy in high school. They made him a wide receiver last year, and Charlie White said, you know, he didn't know how to play last year. All he could do was run fast. Well, he's become a wide receiver this year and trying to make up for the fumbled punt a couple possessions ago. Gets a nice return for the Notre Dame offense. And this Notre Dame offense absolutely has to do something here. You know, coming into the game tonight, they had only had 13 3-and-outs on offense the whole year. That averaged out to be 1.6 per game. Already tonight, 5 3-and-outs by their offense against this Boston College defense.
Four-man rush, they apply pressure. Allen, early in the ball game, they were blitzing. Now they've decided they really don't need to do it most of the time. And Golden Tate, the sophomore wide receiver, Hendersonville, Tennessee. And Golden, a family name, both his father and granddad. His father played wide receiver for the Colts, and he was selected by the Diamondbacks in the Major League Baseball draft. So he is a multi-sport star. Converted running back with speed, a lot of it. Clausen, who is probably playing his poorest game statistically all year, has this one batted down. And again, Boston College getting guys in his face. Hertzlick comes off the corner that time. Another blitz by a linebacker or corner, and timed his jump perfectly.
When Boston College does blitz, for the most part, it's what's known as a zone blitz or a fire blitz. I mean, they don't play man-to-man coverage or not have safeties back when they blitz. They just bring an extra rusher from some other place, but it's usually only a 4-man rush, occasionally a 5-man rush. That time, Herslick got his hand on the football.
Right now, Frank Spaziani's kids throwing a shutout. This time, the pass is incomplete, intended for Kamara. Roderick Rollins on the coverage.
I think Notre Dame has to go for it here. I don't think they can afford to punt the football. They've got guys open because the corners for Boston College, I mean, they kind of bail out of there. You can get an out route in against these guys, but you got to protect your quarterback first.
4th and 6.
Boston College wanted to call a timeout here. Didn't like the way they were set up.
When you're down 17-0, you have to start taking chances even with 3:01 to go in the third.
Jim, when you touch down at Hampton, you wake up a winner.
That's right, Tracy. Thanks to their complimentary hot breakfast. Omelet.
Sausage.
French toast sticks.
I love French food and sticks.
The all-new H3T, the most versatile Hummer ever.
When you touch down at Hampton, you wake up a winner.
That's right. Thanks to their friendly service.
They even remembered my name.
What is your name?
That you will never know.
Smart move, Tracy.
Seriously, what's your name?
This is a kitchen table where homework gets done after dinner. But add Time Warner Cable's Roadrunner High-Speed Online, and this becomes the greatest library on Earth. A multimedia explosion of mankind's accumulated knowledge, downloading facts and videos at speeds your old DSL connection just can't keep up with.
I'm studying here?
Sorry.
Order Roadrunner Turbo for only $39.95 per month. Call Time Warner Cable today. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
I faced one of the toughest challenges of my life right here. I couldn't swim, but I can still hear my drill instructor today. Don't quit. So I jumped in, apprehensive and scared out of my mind, but I came up a Marine.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. Notre Dame going for it on 4th down from the BC 41 with 3:01 to go. Third quarter, they are down by 3 scores. Clausen to Allen in the flat, can't get it. Well, you wonder about that call.
Well, you're thinking that Armando Allen, who is excellent in space, can make one guy miss. Unfortunately for Charlie Weiss, that one guy was Roderick Rollins, and Roderick Rollins made an outstanding tackle in space. And Allen is very difficult to defend out in grass, but that was an excellent tackle by Rollins.
But you mentioned the fact that the corners play off. They cannot match the speed of Notre Dame's wide receivers.
That time they came up and they showed a cover 2 like they were rolled up to take outs away, and he went to the underneath throw to try to get the first.
So BC buoyed by the ability to stop Notre Dame again. They have alternated tailbacks tonight between Hayden and Harris. This is Harris. Took him the last week of recruiting. It looked like he was going to go to Duke. And then when the coaching staff there was fired, he changed his mind, got an offer from Boston College, decided to come to Chestnut Hill.
Well, we mentioned for Boston College, I mean, this is not a conference game. There's a lot to be played for them in the next 3 weeks after this, but a good building block, trying to end a 2-game losing streak first and foremost.
And as a quarterback, you've got to like the discipline that Crane has shown tonight.
He's been in charge. He's been in control from the first quarter. He's not looked like he's been flustered. He's not looked like it's been chaos for him. He's managed the game, and that's what you want out of your quarterback. Make some plays, but most importantly, manage the game and take care of the football, and he's done that.
And Notre Dame has never put him in a position where he had to really gamble.
And I think Boston College's ability to run the ball with a lot more success than Notre Dame helps to take the pressure off the quarterback. Everything is on Jimmy Clausen because they can't run at all.
First down BC, and Harris will pick up about 5. And let's go back to the used car lot and see what's up.
Well, I'm still staying right here. I mean, it's a Honda Accord, maybe a newer model. Again, I mean, they got in the end zone. Yeah, maybe leather seats, maybe even a sunroof. You know, that's pretty nice to have. CD player. But they're efficient right now, and they're getting the job done, and he's getting the job done. And Steve Logan, I think, is doing a nice job of managing his quarterback and calling plays that give him a chance to be successful.
Harris again. Maybe a yard this time. With just 2 races left, the point lead is dwindling. Jimmy Johnson will try to hold off the hard-charging Carl Edwards as he strives for a 3rd straight Sprint Cup championship. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues in Phoenix tomorrow on ABC. Our coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at 3 o'clock. Eastern time is getting short. The clock is BC's friend right now. Crane under pressure. Blitz in his face. That would be the easiest pick they'd ever get. And this may be...
Well, there's a late flag as well.
Brian Smith was charging on a blitz and drilled Crane. Rashawn McNeil had the ball right in his tummy and couldn't hold it.
Crane just trying to unload that before the sack by Smith and threw it behind his receiver and almost picked off by McNeil, as you mentioned.
Could have been a pick 6, and that would have been a huge play.
An ineligible receive downfield, number 87. The penalties decline. 4th down.
It's Lars Anderson, a backup tight end. He must have been covered up. And they'll have to punt it away. And Flutie is in to kick. A lot of teams have gone to this rugby-style kick, and Flutie a good enough punter to do the regular style as well if need be. And you got to pay attention to him when he's in there because he's always a threat to run. It's a great roll on this one. Inside the 10, here's Reese.
All right, Mike, time for the Dr. Pepper Conference Update. The conference is the Big 12. Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, those two hook up for the 2nd time tonight. It's now 35-20. Red Raiders on top of Oklahoma State on ABC.
All right, thanks, Reese. Harrell's got to be right at the top of your list.
Man, he is. I mean, he is right up there. He continues to play well, and that combination of Harrell to Crabtree is about as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
They are really good and on the same page.
Whoever wins that conference is something. This year, there is so much talent. Clausen complete on the out. It's now 18 out of 32, but it's under 150 yards for Jimmy Clausen. That is going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We'll talk more quarterbacking with Todd, particularly about his Heisman choices right now, when we come back for the start of the 4th quarter.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
You're going to need a wheelman. My job is to get you in. Your job is to drive. You're in deep. Exactly where I want you to be.
Need for Speed Undercover. Rated T for Teen.
Now $1.99.
Hey, boss. Do we have Aflac?
Nah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Well, are you going to go for it?
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
No, crazy is not connecting your new flat screen to DirecTV. Clark switched, and now he gets all his favorite channels in HD.
I'm in deep.
A man with that much HD is such a turn on.
On average, get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Miss Davis, this is OnStar. I've received a signal you've been in a crash. I'm contacting emergency services.
OnStar reporting a front-end crash on Wakefield.
Chevy Malibu, airbags deployed, injuries reported. Please respond.
Ma'am, help is on the way.
Okay, and I'll stay on the line with you till they get there.
Automatic crash response, built into 11 Chevy models.
Ground control. We have a problem. Switching to lithium power.
I feel better already.
Extreme power for all of your high-tech devices. Energizer Ultimate Lithium and Advanced Lithium. Energizer. Keep going.
Have you always wanted to travel like James Bond? Well, then visit Orbitz.com for your chance to win one of 7 great Bond adventures like a luggage.
It's not easy being green.
Having to spend your whole life the color of the leaves.
Yeah, we're getting a little punchy. No, I didn't. I was very impressed. 17-0 as we start the fourth quarter. Clausen trying to make something happen. Floyd, flag down.
I think that was a catch.
I think it was, too.
I think it was interference on Boston College and a catch.
Number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, they've got to
say it wasn't, but I thought it was.
Yeah, well, they've got to get this guy involved. He's been too integral a part of their success this year offensively. Michael Floyd, the true freshman out of St. Paul, Minnesota, 6'3", 215 pounds.
Was not a catch.
Yeah. But they got to keep throwing it at him.
Yes, they do.
You know, I mean, they've thrown it to Tate tonight. They haven't given Michael Floyd as many opportunities to do something with the ball. Only 4 catches. I think they got to keep trying to feed him the football.
He came in with 7 touchdowns. That's number 1 on the club. Blitz coming. Clausen runs away from trouble. Picks up as much as he can and goes out of bounds. It's the mistakes that have killed Notre Dame tonight, Todd.
Yeah, 3 turnovers. One of those interceptions returned for a touchdown, a blocked punt, a couple costly penalties, and really this is not a miscue, but just a no running game, virtually no running game. Boston College has done 2 things really well on defense tonight. They've stuffed the run, and they've not given up the big play. Clausen has thrown 32 passes, only 2 completions for over 10 yards in the ballgame.
Throws this one through the hands of Michael Floyd. That would have been a pick 6. DeLeon.
A little bit high, but a very catchable pass for Michael Floyd. Looked like he was the
catch he's got to make.
Yep.
3rd and 6. underneath to Tate, and Tate right at the sticks. McLaughlin, the middle linebacker, stopped him, and if the yellow line is accurate, and it normally is, well, they spotted it 3 different places now. The referee picked it up, spotted it beyond the line, put it back even with the line, then put it back ahead of the line. And it will be a first down. As spotting is an art, not a science, huh? Clausen rifles this one, caught by Floyd. Floyd looking for a block. Big play inside the 30. Got him on a crossing route, and Floyd did the rest for 31.
Well, that's the biggest play they've had tonight. 31 yards. Coming into the game tonight, they'd had 17 plays, pass plays of over 30 yards. We just mentioned only 2 completions for over 10 yards before this one. 31 yards, and again, you see the skills and the talent after the catch of Michael Floyd. Big, strong, and fast. And a big play for the Irish.
It's a good combination.
Yes.
Clausen for the end zone. Too high, picked again.
Every time Clausen has tried to throw against cover 2, he is overthrown because of the underneath coverage on his intended receiver. Once again, he's trying to hit his tight end, Kyle Rudolph, and there's underneath coverage that forces the high throw. This time it was Francois, number 35, with the underneath coverage, forcing the high throw, and the second interception of the ball game for Paul Anderson.
Boy, if they ever need a wide receiver in a pinch, go to Anderson. That was a great catch. His 5th of the season, the 2nd of the game, and that's just got to knock the life out of Notre Dame.
Well, I am so impressed with the discipline of the drops of the Boston College linebackers. I mean, we have seen it all night. McLaughlin has done it. Herzlich has done it. Francois has done it. They get under those routes, and there's no place for the quarterback to throw the football except over the head of the receiver, and that ends up bad for the Irish.
Well, when you have that, don't you have to go somewhere else?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you can't get locked in there thinking just because this is what the coverage says, you've got to see that underneath coverage as well. Sometimes a quarterback with a great arm has too much confidence that he can stick the ball in anywhere. And
Notre Dame is challenging this call, and I don't know how much they believe that it was not an interception and it's just reached the point of desperation. But that is a brilliant catch. By rule, if the ball hits the ground, it is not an interception. The official had the same angle we did and couldn't tell. Look how Anderson turns his elbow
body. That hit, not the football. That was his elbow that hit the ground.
He had to be a receiver in a previous life because
after review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver had his arms underneath the ball and securely had the ball. It is an interception, a touchback. Notre Dame will be charged with their first time out of the half.
Receivers will start to roll to protect that ball, and that's exactly what he did.
Coming into the night, he was tied for the team lead with 3 interceptions. 2 more tonight puts him square in front with 5. And again, for Chris Crane, it's be smart with the football. Turnovers have destroyed Notre Dame tonight, and your ability to protect the football has been a big key to your success.
There's not going to be anything real fancy coming from BC's offense right now. Harris gets a couple on the ground. Here's Holland.
Well, guys, when we spoke with Notre Dame quarterback Jimmy Clausen this week, he said his biggest concern playing against BC was how confusing they are in the back end of their defense. He said they show a real vanilla look, and then they roll. They change a lot of different things. He said, you know, I have concerns with that because what they show you pre-snap isn't what you always get. Now, he told us the safeties will always tell you where the ball is going to go, but guys, it seems like he's really had some trouble deciphering what this BC defense does. They're pretty tricky back there.
Well, you know, it's crazy, Holly, because I don't know that he's having trouble reading the coverage, but he's just making bad decisions of where to throw the football because the safeties are telling him what the coverage is, but he is not appreciating or he's underestimating the underneath coverage that the linebackers are providing for Boston College.
Well, there's that old line you hear from quarterbacks and coaches, safeties don't lie.
Yeah.
They have to play certain ways in certain defenses, and they're always going to tell you if you're smart enough to figure it out. But the bottom line is, BC's defense has been terrific.
They absolutely have.
Raining harder now, which is not going to help Notre Dame's cause. And the clock just continues to tick away. They'll whistle this play dead.
Right now, what Chris Crane.
Number 18, offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
One of the things that Chris Crane has to do now, and this is kind of tricky because, again, he's a first-year starting quarterback, but right now with a 17-point lead, you want to start to milk the clock and use as much of the clock as you can, but you don't want to do it in such a way that you take all the aggressiveness away from your offense. So you want to still try to stay within the rhythm of your offense, but you really want to use as much clock as you can. So spend a little extra time in the huddle maybe and not at the line of scrimmage.
Notre Dame was late getting a defender on the field. Montel Harris with a nice run. Here's Reese Davis.
Mike, with 1:20 left, Cincinnati was up on West Virginia 20-7, had the ball. They took a safety. West Virginia scored a touchdown, got an onside kick with 18 seconds, completed a long pass, and then set up Pat McAfee from 52 yards out to try to put it into overtime. And he did. See all those empty seats? All the people in Morgantown came running back in to watch overtime. It's where we are now.
Tell you what, that kid is a terrific kicker. He's got quite a future on Sundays. And Boston College is just starting to do everything perfectly. Golden Tate knocked down in his tracks. Sam Bradford, Colt McCoy, Graham Harrell, Tim Tebow. Who do you like for the Heisman? We'll talk about it when we come back.
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 75% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
4 out of 5 dentists surveyed would recommend Trident for their patients who chew gum. But what about the 5th dentist?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
One thing's for sure, great tasting Trident is good for teeth and is now accepted by the ADA.
I don't know, maybe you should have been the blonde. Maybe you should just listen to the game. Maybe if you shaved your legs like me, the sneak-in would have worked.
Maybe if you hadn't lost our season tickets in a lawsuit because you got cheapo insurance, we'd be inside the stadium, watching the game, dressed like men. Huh?
I don't want to get into this she said thing.
Getting cut-rate insurance to save a little money could end up costing a lot. Call an Allstate agent today for a free Good Hands coverage checkup. Are you in good hands?
In a world overwhelmed by high gas prices, come 4 heroes. Armed with MyVet technology from Mitsubishi, Lancer, Galant, Eclipse, Outlander. They are the Phenomenal 4. All equipped with Mitsubishi's 4-cylinder MyVec engine, giving you fuel efficiency without sacrificing performance. 4 cars, 4 cylinders, 0 compromises. Visit your Mitsubishi dealer today.
I'll go medium, please.
Medium rare.
Medium well.
Oh, I'm going triple.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Kenny Mayne stars as Kenny Mayne in Main Street. Starts Tuesday on ESPN.com.
Next on SportsCenter, a wild one at LSU, how the Tigers forced overtime and why Alabama is still #1. See why Penn State's title hopes took a huge hit and what Tony Dungy says the Colts must do or else no playoffs.
Let's take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. Trouble at the top for Joe Pa and my partner Pretty tough day to go through when your heart gets involved, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But Iowa deserved to win. There's no question. They outplayed Penn State today.
So Penn State is going to drop out of the national championship picture. Allen on the draw. There is a flag down on the play. And Allen out to about the 38-yard line will check the penalty.
Offsides, line up in the neutral zone. Number 47 defense. The penalties decline. Result of the play is first down.
They'll decline that penalty and take the gain. And, of course, Alabama struggled. Texas Tech looks like they'll solidify their hold on number 2. And probably the teams just below Penn State will move up a notch. Yeah. Nobody seemed to do anything out of the ordinary.
Well, I think Penn State, they may even drop below a couple of those other one-loss teams. I could see them dropping below Florida, USC, Oklahoma.
Now the Big Ten becomes very interesting because you've got Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan State all right there together. But it certainly ends the dream of Joe Paterno of having a national championship opportunity. It's going to be very difficult, but remember, November isn't over yet. Last year we thought we knew what was going to happen, but we obviously didn't. And it's no easy road for Texas Tech to finish this season either. Alabama, of course, will play Mississippi State and Auburn, and then they're going to have to play presumably Florida in the SEC
I think that's already set.
Game.
Yeah, I think Florida's already locked up the SEC East. And
talk about a showdown.
Yeah, that will be, because Florida playing extremely well right now, much better than earlier in the year.
Reese Davis, what's happening with Texas Tech?
It's the Michael Crabtree Show making a statement again. Graham Harrell put it up there for 05. He'll pull it down for you. Red Raiders 42-20 on ABC, making an emphatic statement for their place atop the Big 12.
42-20. Unbelievable. Talent galore in that conference. Allen underneath. And Boston College is going to give them just about all of those that they want. There's a flag down back near Clawson.
Yeah, I got another roughing the passer.
Number 52 in the defense. Contact to the helmet. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's Austin Giles, whose brother Zach was a center for 4 years at Notre Dame.
And look at Frank Spaziani out there to meet him. I mean, he doesn't want any of his guys doing anything at this point to take away from what his team is doing. The end of the throw. Austin Giles, it's just the hand up there above the head. I mean, the tackle wasn't so much as it was the, it just.
Boy, that's a tough call.
Yeah. And some frustration on the part of Jimmy Clawson as well.
Clawson trying to scramble, look out from behind. Down he goes to the 28-yard line. Good closing speed by Ramella. The defensive end got Clawson.
In this Boston College defense, last year they finished number 2 nationally in rush defense, and coming into the game tonight, the second best defense in just about every category in the ACC behind Florida State. The only team playing better defense in the league than Boston College.
They only have 228 yards in total offense so far tonight against that BC defense. Rudolph, the tight end, makes the catch. Guys like Herzlich have really played well. Their linebackers are very active. They have those 2 tremendous tackles to keep the pressure off of the linebackers, and Herzlich 1 away from double digits.
I thought it was a funny story, too, when we were visiting with him yesterday. After we got done visiting with him, very pleasant young man, he left the room and came back in a little bit later. He said, you know, I want to tell you this other story. I got a call from my grandfather. I'll tell you after this play the rest of that story.
Clawson for the end zone overthrown.
Anyway, he said his grandfather called and said, hey, tomorrow in the game, you may want to take it easy on the fullback for Notre Dame, Asaph Swoop, because he's dating your cousin. Well, we'll just have to see about that. Mark Herzlich, an outstanding football player for these Eagles.
We get a lot of smart kids at both of these schools. They're always near the top of the graduation rates for football players. Notre Dame was #1. Boston College last year was #1 for schools in the top 25. 4th and 1, Notre Dame obviously will have to go for it. Allen, the tailback.
My goodness. If they got it by an inch.
What defense?
I mean, this B.J. Raji is everything he was advertised to be. I mean, I knew coming in that Frank Spaziani said he's the real deal, and you watch him on tape. He's powerful. He's quick. He is a dominant defensive interior lineman. And
that looks about 2 feet short.
My gosh.
Yeah, he is. He is quite a player. And when you have those 2 tackles that can stonewall the middle, there's a lot of things you can do.
Yep.
And Boston College will take over on downs. What a defensive show by these guys tonight.
Well, Jeff Jagodzinski said when he got the job last year, the best thing that happened was he was able to convince Frank Spaziani, the coordinator, and Bill McGovern, the linebacker coach, to stay on the staff and keep that defensive continuity. They've done that.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
From the producers of The Phenomenal Four comes a righteous MPG machine who knows the streets. It's Outlander from Mitsubishi. High gas prices and boring economy cars. Better watch out, because this hero's packing one lean, mean Myvec 4-cylinder machine. Loaded with technology and room for 7, Outlander's looking for action in style. The 2009 Mitsubishi Outlander. It's one far out CUV.
Choose Movies on Demand. Now you can get instant access to thousands of films. Choose kids and teens, comedy, thriller, action, or classic. Choose Bonnie and Clyde or Three Kings. The ease, convenience, and instant access of a video store right in your home. With Movies on Demand, the choice is yours. Order movies with the click of your remote. Now for only $1.99.
Tune to Channel 505 Movies on Demand. Time Warner Cable. The power of you.
You know what this is?
The web of happiness. You've trained me well,
That's
Godfather.
You son of a gun, you. The web of happiness.
Well, the key is this man has money to lend.
Lots of it.
You know, a lot of
40
dealers,
million worth of it.
A lot of dealers are having tough times right now getting credit for their customers.
Don't get jerked around these dinky-donky dealers, folks. You need to go online, BillyCredit.com. Everybody knows the website all over town.
Yes.
It's BillyCredit.com. And one thing is going to happen in your life. You are going to become huge.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. At Hampton, we love having you here. And in part by the Phenomenal Four from Mitsubishi. 4 cars, 4 cylinders, 0 compromises.
Boston College really pumped up about what they have done to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish tonight. 8:08 to go in the ball game. BC takes over on downs. Up 17-0, and they'll be working on the clock. Lose a couple on the run with Josh Hayden. Let's check in with Reese.
All right, Mike, want to show you how West Virginia and Cincinnati finished up. West Virginia kicked a field goal in overtime. Tony Pike, Kazim Ali, and the Bearcats, who seemingly had blown it, pulled it out of the fire 26-23. It might be Cincinnati and Pitt, the West Virginia's still in it for the Big East. Florida's cruising on ESPN2. USC and Cal in a struggle, 10-3 in the fourth quarter. And by the way, Texas Tech has scored again. It's 49-20.
They are good.
Yep. I'll tell you what, though, And Brian Kelly at Cincinnati, his name is going to start resurfacing again. A couple big jobs going to be available this year. Already available.
Yes, they are. Quarterback keeper for Crane. I think the biggest job opening right now is at Clemson. I think that program really, I mean, obviously Tennessee is huge, but Clemson, if you're there and you're successful and you know what you're doing, you've got a chance to dominate a league.
Well, the thing about Clemson to me is that Clemson has an SEC mentality and I think an SEC stadium, resources, approach to the game of football, but they play in a league that doesn't compete quite as hard week to week as I shouldn't say doesn't compete as hard, but just isn't as challenging week to week as the SEC. I mean, Tennessee's got great resources and great facilities and, you know, I mean, as good as it gets in college football. But, boy, you've got, you know, the SEC has changed a lot since the early days for Philip Fulmer when he was winning SEC championships and he won the national championship in 1988. It was Florida and Tennessee, and that was pretty much it on that side of the ledger.
And how about the guys in the rumor mill who have already said no to the possibility even of going back to Tennessee? I mean, David Cutcliffe at Duke said, I'm at Duke. I'm not going anywhere.
Butch Davis, and I don't blame Butch Davis either. I think I watched his team on tape against both Notre Dame and Boston College, and North Carolina is a team that is very close to being good. I mean,
some very good talent.
Yes, they do.
Number 19, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that's
Steve Spurrier said the same thing, that he wasn't going to go back.
Yeah, and that's the same argument for Butch Davis. I mean, you play in a league in the ACC, if you can recruit the kind of talent he's accustomed to having, he can make some real noise in that conference and get to BCS bowl games.
Notre Dame, you really need a big play out of anybody. Can special teams make one? Quigley's job is just to get it out of there. Here they come, and Quigley did his job. And better than that, hit a boomer. Fair catch made back at the 26-yard line. Here's tonight's Good Hand Flashback presented by Allstate. November 7th, 1998, right here in Chestnut Hill. Notre Dame up by 5 with under 6 minutes to go. BC put themselves into a position for a startling upset, but on 4 tries on the goal line. Mike McLeod couldn't punch it in. Deke Cooper's stop on 4th and goal would spark Notre Dame's celebration. The 13th-ranked Irish escaped with the victory, 31-26. If they escape with a victory tonight, it's going to be Houdini-like because we're already down to 5:30 and they haven't scored in this game at all. Tate driven out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
All right now. Get the turnover. Score again.
Clausen has had a very pedestrian night, as has the rest. Notre Dame offense. Clausen in trouble. Flag goes down. That's a sack for B.J. Raji. And a penalty marker as well.
Holding. Number 78 offense. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Trevor Robinson, only the 5th true freshman ever to start on Notre Dame's offensive line. This was a team that gave up 58 sacks a year ago. That's almost an unimaginable number, especially if you're a quarterback. You just can't imagine being hit that many times.
Well, the thing you got to remember, though, is that with sacks, it's not always just the offensive line. Now, I say that because my dad was an offensive line coach for about 30 years, so I have to say
a good one.
And a good one. But a lot of that is the quarterback not holding the ball too long, but whatever the cause, 58's a lot. And it was an NCAA record, and they're much better this year. But in the case of this game right now, trailing 17-0 with no running game at all, it's very difficult to pass protect.
And those were just sacks. That doesn't count the number of times that Jimmy Clausen just got blasted after he got rid of the ball. He was beaten up so badly they had to bench him the last 2 games of the season just basically to save him. When you can't walk to class on Monday, it's time to sit down. Clausen will take off across midfield down to the 48. Well, you are the Heisman expert, sir. You have a vote. How does Harrell look on your list?
Well, I think he's at the top of the list right now because what he's doing and what Texas Tech is doing, he's playing at an extremely high level. I mean, all these guys are. I mean, Sam Bradford is playing as well as anybody from the quarterback position, but Graham Harrell and Texas Tech, I mean, what they're doing right now is really, really impressive. And I've got Michael Crabtree on there because he's spectacular. I don't think that he's going to win the Heisman, but he is a spectacular player. And of course, Tim Tebow, he doesn't have near the numbers that he had a year ago.
No.
But I think maybe he may be a better all-around quarterback. And their football team right now is better than they were a year ago on the offensive side.
Robert Hughes got that last carry, which you saw Doug Flutie's jersey. He won the Heisman.
1984.
And they put up his statue yesterday outside one of the entrance gates here. Immortalized in bronze.
And knowing Doug, because one of the things that made Doug the spectacular player that he was he was such a fierce competitor, which I think he is still to this day.
Yeah.
If he plays pickup basketball or whatever. But he only got to play against Notre Dame one time in his career, and he lost that game 19-18 in the 1983 Liberty Bowl. And I'm sure that probably sticks in his craw to this day. He threw for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns, but his team lost by 1 point.
Well, he spent all those years in the Canadian League and played so well. He was the MVP up there, I believe, 3 or 4 times. Clausen going deep for the end zone and incomplete. And guess who? Paul Anderson almost got his 3rd pick. More on the statue, Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I kind of took an unofficial survey of some of the fans here tonight, what they thought about the statue, and kind of the common theme was it was a lot bigger than they expected. Now, Doug was a little bit of a diminutive quarterback. He played bigger than life, so that was kind of the consensus here in the stadium. But Doug was really funny yesterday at the ceremony. He said, this is kind of weird. I come around BC all the time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come around here because it's going to be kind of weird walking by myself.
Well, when he finally got back to the NFL in the late stages of his career and still succeeded, I think that was probably the hallmark of his career in the pros. Because everybody said, well, there's no way at that size that you can play quarterback in the NFL. Those days have passed.
Yep.
.243 and counting. Clausen again looks for the end zone, throws underneath. Is it intercepted? It is. Donnie Fletcher, that talented freshman. And boy, that secondary, what a bunch of ball hawks they've been tonight.
Well, that's how many interceptions now is that? 4th interception. Coming into the game, they had 14. Donnie Fletcher from Cleveland Glenville High School. Bet you don't know their nickname.
No.
The Tar Blooders.
Whoa.
The producers of The Phenomenal Four comes what critics give 5 stars and hail as a top safety pick. It's Outlander from Mitsubishi, out to make safety sexy. With active stability control and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Outlander's down with safety and serious peace of mind. The 2009 Mitsubishi Outlander. It's one righteous MPG machine.
Who is Dickey's American Worker of the Year for 2008? Introducing Hale Hughes, an oilfield roughneck from Woodville, Texas. Find out how to honor your favorite worker at Dickeys.com.
It's time to get more out of your tires. It's time to get Cooper. Because now during Cooper's National Take the Money and Ride event, you'll not only get unbeatable performance, you'll get a $50 rebate by mail when you buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires. Cooper's Take the Money and Ride event. Get your rebate form and all the details at a participating Cooper dealer or at CooperTire.com. But do it today. The road and your $50 rebate are waiting.
So what you gonna get? No, check it out. Don't answer that. I know what we're gonna get. Friday's right portion, right price menu. Hey, I'm talking big flavor here. Just the right amount of food. And it starts at just $5.99. So you'll have enough left over, you can buy those ladies some dessert.
VitaPacks from GNC. Designed by our nutritional science team to give you all the vitamins and supplements you need every day in one convenient pack. Pop by GNC and choose the pack that's right for you. GNC. Live well.
Behold the sword of Urlacher.
That was me, Brian Urlacher. Then I started using Swagger from Old Spice. Who's laughing now? Me.
Coming up next on ESPN at SportsCenter, some of the stories they'll be covering. A wild win for Alabama as #1 survives, whose title hopes were crushed. We know at least one, and it's an NFL Week 10 preview. Giants and the Eagles ought to be an interesting game. Well, Boston College, you're always looking for a statement win, and certainly this was it. And look at the effort there as they just keep pounding out against Notre Dame.
Well, this is a solid football team. I mean, defensively, we knew coming in that was the backbone of their team. They were even better than advertised tonight. And everything is in front of them. I mean, Jeff Jagodzinski told us, I mean, that, you know, we have 3 ACC games left after this. And teams that are ahead of us or right even with us, we're right in the thick of things. It's not an easy road, but at least it is out there for them.
Yeah.
And they still have a lot to play for, and that's all you can hope for. At this point in the season in November, to still have something to play for, a shot to get to the ACC championship game is a great thing.
Montel Harris, a few more. And the ACC is such a jumble. It'll clear up in the next couple of weeks, of course. But Florida State came through with a win today, 4-2. Wake at 4-2. You see Boston College just behind that first wave. They could finish at 5-3, and 5-3 might be good enough to get them in the championship game. And the other division, same thing. 5-3 might be good enough to get you in the championship game. Yeah, nobody is dominant.
Right. I mean, you can argue, well, that's parity, or you can say it's mediocrity. I mean, whatever you want to say, but the bottom line is it's competitive. And, you know, to still have a shot at this point is all you ask for. But if you get to a BCS bowl game, you know, the alumni and, you know, the people that cash the check here at Boston College University aren't going to care how you got there.
James McCluskey is the player that's down. Speaking of the alumni, this is the kind of game that's very important from that standpoint. I mean, when you have a game of this magnitude playing against Notre Dame, the 2 major Catholic schools that play big-time football, this is huge for them. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I think, quite honestly, that for the Boston College fans, there's probably a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, a little bit of a feeling like we're the little brother.
Yeah.
And, you know, Notre Dame has probably got the more the reputation and the bigger following. But, you know, for Boston College, as you see the trophy that they're playing for, the Frank Leahy Bowl, you know, this makes 6 in a row.
Yeah, little brother is beating up on the big kid.
And it evens up the series at 9 apiece. So, I mean, it's been a competitive series. Unfortunately, I think it's going away. They've got 2 more years to play.
They will talk about renewing. Yeah. I think they have one. The paperwork hasn't been signed in like 2018, 2019. Tentatively talking about that. Then with the extra game that they have added, so it's a 12-game regular season, there is a chance. Notre Dame is trying to play 3 Big East schools a year. Boston College certainly would have been in that mix had they not gone to the ACC.
Right. No, I think it's a pretty cool matchup.
I do too.
What's interesting about Boston College too, that one of those did you know? I didn't know this until I read it this week. And it looks like they're going to extend this streak, but they have the longest current active win streak against non-conference opponents of anybody in the country. It will go to 21 with this win tonight. The last non-conference game that they lost here was in 2004. They lost to Wake Forest 17-14. At that time, BC was a Big East team, and they lost to the ACC Wake Forest team. But this would be 21 non-conference wins in a row, the best in the nation.
And a big win tonight for Jeff Jagodzinski. About as much fun to be around as you can find in college football. He's just a super guy. And he'll be celebrating tonight as his Eagles will have pitched a shutout over visiting Notre Dame. This week on Monday Night Football, new head coach Mike Singletary trying to help San Francisco turn it around. They have to face Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald, and the high-powered offense now possessed by the Arizona Cardinals. It's Monday Night Football on ESPN at 8:30. Our coverage starts at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS. They come to their feet at Alumni Stadium, and Charlie Weiss has to make a long and painful walk to the middle of the field to shake hands with Jeff Jagodzinski. Boston College will go to 6-3. Notre Dame will fall to 5-4. They are still not bowl eligible this year after a 3-9 disaster in 2007. BC earned it tonight, Todd.
Absolutely. They were clearly the best team on the field tonight.
Our final score, Boston College 17, Notre Dame nothing. Coming up next on ESPN, stay tuned for SportsCenter. And for a wrap of this game, catch us on ESPN News in just a few minutes. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Chestnut Hill.
Wilson keeps the Crimson Tide undefeated.
This is SportsCenter.
It's a Saturday in November. You knew someone in the BCS top 3 would take a hit. Whose hopes got dashed? And Herbie lays out his top 5.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's picked off!
Maybe some more BCS shakeups in the top 25. Why November 8th might decide who goes bowling where, and don't miss what might be one of the catches of the year. LeBron versus the number 1 pick. Take 2. The King holds court in Cleveland. Can the number 1 pick get revenge in the city of CHI? And quarterback concerns. Will Big Ben go? And what Tony Dungy says Peyton Colts must do or no playoffs. Buckle up. Welcome to the show. Carl Ravitch, Scott Van Pelt. We like to call this the no breaks edition of SportsCenter. When the Jones-Calzaghe fight starts, incidentally, we'll give you round by round on the bottom line. And Ravi, we begin with a homecoming of sorts in Baton Rouge.
Right. Not often you head back home and you find the good folks burning your likeness. There's warm greetings, and then there's just fire.
Yeah, there's that.
Huge crowd turned out to see it. They were there watching this. If that doesn't give you the warm fuzzies, I don't know what will. Well, Nick's still alive, though, today, and here he comes. He last won a national title at LSU in 03. Boo! First quarter, Bagels on the board. LSU 26, Parker Wilson avoiding pressure. Now he's going, now he's throwing. That worked out well. Down to the goal line, reaching for the box. Drilled out of bounds goes the ball. Take another look. The ball never crossed the goal line. The play is ruled a touchback for LSU. And Nick Saban, the former LSU coach, not happy. Ensuing drive for LSU, Jarrett Lee. This is one of those bad news, good news things. The bad news is it's picked off. The good news, it's not returned for a touchdown like 5 previously have been against Lee. John Parker Wilson, I'll do it myself. And then he dials up the celly. We've seen this celebration before. 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on that. October 26th, Tim Tebow of Florida, he made a call. And on the 25th of October, Noshawn Moreno dialed somebody up.
That's because the LSU fans get their numbers and then call them. They got to change their numbers because all these hardcore Tiger fans get on the blower.
But when they were blowing up the hips, look who's catching one on the hip. Demetrius Byrd down the sideline. Charlie Scott was once a great three-point shooter for the Celtics. This Charles Scott can run. 14-7, LSU's on top of number 1 Bama. Second quarter, same score, 3rd and 8 for LSU. Lee. Now this is the bad news deal. For the 6th time this year, he throws an interception that's brought back to the house. Nobody's calling anybody. Cell phones are down. It's 21-14, fourth quarter. It's 14-14. Glenn Coffey, I'll have a large cup decaffeinated. Now it's a 7-point lead. Coffey goes for 126. Scott up the middle. Les Miles delighted, tied at 21. So we're in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 7. Parker Wilson in the gun. Who's open? Nobody except the entire right side of the field. 6 points as Wilson dives in. Hang on a second. There is a call. Holding on the play. Take another look. Andre Smith grabs some jersey there. Saban not happy. Alabama has to punt. Lee, 3rd and 3. Richard Dixon. Incomplete. LSU's got a kick back to Bama. The ensuing drive, Parker Wilson. Slant me for 8 yards. That's good to Julio Jones. Later that drive, Lee Tiffin. 29-yard field goal to win it. Access denied. Blocked. Take one more look as the big man, Ricky Jean-Francois, got his paw up there. Les Miles and the LSU sideline erupt. Saban telling Kiffin, do me a favor. Whee! Put it up in the air. All right, LSU's first possession at overtime, 3rd and 6 to the end zone. And Johnson, for the 3rd time, catches a ball thrown by the other team. That's pretty good. 3 interceptions in a game. Bama's got another chance. John Parker Wilson. We're going to Julio Jones at the 3.
Kid's a true freshman.
And dragged out of bounds. 2 plays later, John Parker Wilson will do this. Sneaking up the middle. Alabama escapes. Saban and Miles. One of those man hugs after the game. A huge win for Bama as they survive the field goal that was missed at the end of regulation and win in overtime. Nick, how you feeling?
Well, it's a real tribute to our players, and they've done a great job all year, all offseason. I'm so happy for our fans. It's great for Alabama, the university. We've had a lot of support there. This is a great football game, and LSU's players deserve a lot of credit. They played a great game today. We had an opportunity to win it in regulation, but, you know, that's football, and great play by Rashad Johnson to keep them off the board. So, you know, the turnovers were big for us today. We played better in the second half than we did the first, but it's got to be more consistent.
Saban did hang out and talk to some of those guys he recruited a couple years back for LSU. So they escape, and there isn't much left in the way of an undefeated regular season. 2 home games with Mississippi State and Auburn. Auburn has won 6 straight against this Tide club. The SEC title game also remains against the SEC winner. Hello, how would that be? Florida, December 6th.
Snow, windy, cold November in the Big Ten. Penn State trying to stay perfect. Jopa and the Nittany Lions have lost 5 of the last 6 at Iowa. Darrell Clark back after he was concussed in that Ohio State game. But it's Derek Williams at quarterback. He played a little quarterback in high school in Maryland. Actually completed a pass in this game in the 4th quarter. But here, it's one of those sort of their version of the Wildcat Nittany Lions on top in the 3rd quarter, 23-14. 4th quarter, though, with the wind at their back, and that was so critical in this game. There goes Sean Green, 117 yards rushing. He's gone over 100 every game this season. The Hawkeyes were more than a little bit feisty. Here, Iowa they stacked the box. And Evan Royster, who went for 90, gets swallowed up on a 3rd and 1. Huge stop, which means that Penn State's got to punt it back to the Hawks with the wind at their back. And, we've got a Colin Sandeman roughing the kicker. You see Jeremy Boone's foot above his head, runs into him. That's roughing, very costly penalty. However, it's 3rd and 24 after a penalty backs up the Nits. The ball sails maybe a little bit into the wind. It's picked up by Tyler Sash. And here come the Hawkeyes with one more chance. The ensuing drive. Ricky Stanzi. Iowa's been looking for a quarterback, and Stanzi here buys time with his feet. 3rd and 15, and it goes begging, but as Trey Strauss is interfered with by Anthony Scarrato. Was he trying to play the ball? Maybe, but he went through the receiver, so the flag goes down. Later in the drive, $1:40 left. It's 3rd and 10. And again, it's Stanzi. On 3rd downs in this drive, he was fantastic. 15 to 25.